Chicagoland for the Torco Racing Fuels NHRA Route 66 Nationals. Every ticket's a pit pass, every driver accessible, and every run spectacular. Call now for tickets.
NHRA Power 8 Drag Racing. Experience the power.
There are a lot of things you have to pay for with kids. Shoes, haircuts, college tuition. But why should you pay to talk to them? At U.S. Cellular, we don't think you should. That's why with our family plans, families talk for free. U.S. Cellular is wireless where you matter most.
Come into U.S. Cellular and get an ultra-sleek Kyocera strobe with Bluetooth technology for only $29.95. It's the perfect gift for graduation.
U.S. Cellular connects with you.
Sports Night on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by U.S. Cellular. We connect with you.
The Cubs have realized that winning has a way of curing all ills. Yesterday, everything came together as the Cubs had timely hitting and great pitching in one of their biggest victories of the season. And it couldn't have come at a better time as the Cubs kick off a 7-game road trip in Milwaukee. Next.
Sweet batter, batter, sweet batter, batter, sweet batter, sweet batter, batter, sweet batter, batter, sweet batter, sweet batter, batter, sweet batter, sweet batter.
It was a rather crummy weather day here in Milwaukee. Rained pretty much all afternoon, but we don't have to worry about that tonight because we're underneath the roof here at Miller Park for Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Big series starting tonight as the Cubs take on the first place Milwaukee Brewers. Welcome to Cubs baseball. I'm Len Casper. Bob Brenly will be alongside here momentarily. The news on Lou Piniella. He gets a 4-game suspension. He did chat with members of the commissioner's office today. Of course, he was ejected on Saturday during that game against the Atlanta Braves. So Lou will not manage during this series. It'll be Alan Trammell, the bench coach, filling in. Let's hear from Jim Hendry, the general manager, and Lou Piniella and get their reaction.
Well, I don't think Lou Piniella has done anything in his life to ever intentionally disrespect the game. He's had a great career, and as we've seen in the first 45, 50 games, even when we weren't playing well, he handled himself admirably with the umpires.
Yes, I got my days are for some contact and for exciting the crowd. And you know, that's hard to do, not to do, I guess, in Chicago. So, but anyway, look, I'm not complaining about anything. I'm glad that that they gave me at least a way to express myself. And the big thing, I apologize to the umpire. These things won't happen again.
And Bob, as we bring you in, they're 1-0 under Alan Trammell. Go out and win 10-1 again tonight, right?
Yeah, and Lou's last comment, it won't happen again. You want to bet? I mean, Lou is what he is. He's a very emotional player, or was a very emotional player. He's a very emotional manager. Unfortunately, maybe a little contact. Maybe he did incite the crowd. But like Lou said, I can't step out of the dugout at Wrigley without inciting the crowd.
All right, how about the starting pitchers, Jason Marquis and Dave Bush tonight?
Yeah, Jason Marquis has been very good, as we know, this season. 5-2 record, ERA of under 3 when he keeps the ball down. He's really, really good. Dave Bush coming off a real solid outing against the Atlanta Braves. Left the ball game with a 2-1 lead. The bullpen gave it up for him, as they've done 3 times this year.
Cubs go in tied for third, 7.5 behind Milwaukee. And Alfonso Soriano has homered in each of his last 2 games. He'll try to keep that power stroke going next.
The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA offers a variety of options, including the Red Line, which stops right at Wrigley Field at the Addison Station. If you must drive, try the remote parking operation at DeVry University. Located near the Addison and Rockwell intersection, the remote lot offers parking and an express bus for just $6. For another option, try riding your bike. The Cubs provide a free bike check at the car wash at Clark and Waveland. For more details, call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000 or visit Cubs.com.
June 12th is Thrivent Financial Night at the Swing of the Quad Cities. Come out for bucket rides from the Davenport Fire Department, carnival games, fireworks, a performance by the Quad Cities Skydive team, and much more. All ticket sales will benefit Special Olympics. Get your tickets by calling or stopping by Thrivent. Come on out for Swing Baseball on June 12th.
Swing for the Quad Cities. Come on out for big league fun.
QC Auto Service Centers, serving the Quad City area for over 30 years.
Hi, this is Dan Elias for QC Auto Service Centers. Let's talk brakes. Do you have to stomp on your brakes to stop?
Ensure your family's safety by driving into any one of our 3 QC Auto Service Centers. Our techs will inspect your vehicle's brakes free. We'll install lifetime guaranteed original equipment, brake pads, and shoes.
QC Auto Centers with 3 convenient locations: Bettendorf, Davenport, and Moline, keeping you on the road.
Felix PA and Jock Jones getting ready. Mark DeRosa likes it as the Cubs start this road trip, and they come in just 11-14 against the National League Central, 3-3 on the year versus a first place Brewers, and they won 2 of 3 in early April. And the roof is closed, the panel's closed. I think it stopped raining outside, Bob, finally.
I hope so. Boy, driving up here from Chicago today, you couldn't see the hood of the car. It really poured hard a couple times. Thank goodness for roofs.
So right-hander Dave Bush will go after this Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Alfonso Soriano, a notch below 300. He had 3 hits yesterday. Felix PA had 2 hits in his return to the big leagues. Derek Lee this year 16 out of 28 against the Brewers. Ramirez, Jones, Barrett, Michael back in the lineup. First time since that bizarre game on Friday. DeRosa had 5 RBIs on Sunday as Turris and Marquis rounded out.
Let's take a look at the Brewers defensively. Jeff Jenkins in left field, Bill Hall in center, Corey Hart over in right field. The rookie Ryan Braun at third base has made quite a splash here in Milwaukee in his short time in the big leagues. J.J. Hardy, Craig Counsell, Prince Fielder make up the rest of the infield. Hardy and Fielder, the 2 big hitters in this Brewers lineup. Johnny Estrada behind home plate today for the right-hander, Dave Bush. Bush is a strike-throwing machine. He started 11 ball games this year. In 8 of those 11, he's walked either nobody or 1 opposing batter.
The umpires today, Sam Holbrook, a native of Moorhead, Kentucky, will call the balls and strikes. Wendelstedt, Marsh, the crew chief, and Davidson around the bases. Well, Milwaukee is stabilizing a little bit, just winning a 4-game series, taking 3 versus Florida. But again, they have gone 8-15 since a 24-10 start. Cubs finally ended their 6-game skid yesterday with a big 10-1 win over Atlanta. And here we go. Alfonso Soriano on the first pitch of the ball game with a base hit to left, and maybe that's a good omen for this first inning, Bob. They got 6 against Bush in his initial start of the year, and boy, the big inning has been a big problem for Dave Bush.
Soriano doesn't even give him an opportunity to settle in out there on the mound. We know Soriano's a real good low ball hitter. That's what he gets on the first pitch of the game, and good start offensively for the Cubs.
So Soriano now 7 for his last 15. 71 degrees inside and a little bit warmer than it is outside. The mid-60s as Felix takes it low, ball 1.
Lou talked about when PA was sent back to AAA, one of the things he needed to work on was his patience, and the reason why is situations just like this. You have a base stealer on at first base. It'll take a few pitches, give him an opportunity to read Dave Bush's move to home plate, his move to first base, and hopefully steal a base, at which point PA would probably be asked to move that ball to the right side of the field and advance him on to third.
The pitch, another base hit, this time into left center for PA. Well, you'd love to see your guys going the opposite field, and PA now 3 for 6 since coming back from AAA. And it's set up for Derek Lee. 2 on and nobody out.
Nice controlled swing from Felix. PA head right down the barrel of the bat, driving that ball into left center field. Young man playing with a lot of confidence this second go around at the major league level.
Derek leading the National League in batting average. The top 3 in the order, 8 for 15 with 7 runs in the game yesterday. Derek hit 3 home runs, or half of his season total on the just completed homestand. Just missed outside. And I guess even if we were at Old County Stadium, we might have been able to get underway around game time, because as you can see that the sun is out. A 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball.
Brewers playing a little bit of a mini shift on Derek Lee. J.J. Hardy playing pretty much straight up at shortstop, but Craig Counsell, the second baseman, moving up the middle of the field to hold Soriano a little closer at second base. And look how far off the line Prince Fielder is on that right side. He plays as far off that first base bag as any first baseman in the National League.
Called strike 3. Derek knew it. And a big first out for Bush.
That's a pitch Bush has been using a lot as the season has progressed. That backdoor sinker. He'll either throw it away to the right-hander, try to drop it back in on the outside corner, or with the lefty at the plate, throws it pretty much right at him and tails it back over the inside corner.
Now Ramos Ramirez hitting .417 since May 17th. And he cranks it foul. So second in the National League in batting average since May 17th. Dimitri Young has been red hot for the Washington Nationals. He's hit .529 during this latest stretch. Back-to-back singles to start it. Now 1 out. Another tight all-time series. Cubs 1 game over 500 against the Brewers. 2 strikes. They're 73 and 72 going back to 1997. Boy, a ton of Cub fans have made the trek. The guy on the left, however, was not a Cub fan. I'm glad we didn't see his entire T-shirt. Let's put it that way. Hit foul.
We can see in the early going here, Johnny Estrada, the Brewers catcher, sitting on the outer third of the plate or even further out onto the outside corner to all the right-handed hitters in the Cubs lineup. Bush is going to try to continue to backdoor that sinker on the outside corner. If he feels the Cubs hitters are reaching out over the plate to get that pitch, that's when you'll probably see him come back inside.
Soriano at second, PA at first. Very good speed on the base paths. A little bit high, 1 and 2.
Talked about Fielder playing as far as he does away from the bag at first base, and PA could probably get another 2 or 3 steps on his leadoff over there. Obviously, he's got nowhere to go because he has a runner in front of him, but certainly it would give him an opportunity to beat the force at second base on a ground ball to the infield.
Line down the left field line. Fair ball. Soriano is in. And Felix PA will pull up at third base. It's a double for Ramos. And the Cubs strike first. So he stays hot. Picks up his 39th RBI.
Sometimes you can tell when a hitter's hot, not necessarily by the way he's swinging the bat, but by the way he takes pitches. Aramis laid off a high four-seam fastball that was a very tantalizing pitch to swing at. He laid off of that pitch, got Bush to come back with a breaking ball in the middle of the plate and just hammered it into the left field corner. Yeah, when you're laying off those borderline pitches, you're seeing the ball really, really well. And when you do get a pitch in that hitting area, generally you're going to put a good swing on it.
Second and third with only one out. A 1-0 pitch to Jones. Comebacker is off the pitcher. He's going to throw to the plate, and Felix PA, a dead duck. Boy, heartbreak for Jock Jones. He hit that ball about as hard as you can hit it, but he clanged it off the pitcher, who recovered quickly and gets the out at the plate.
Yeah, possibly 2 runs if that ball gets by Dave Bush into center field. That's a pretty nice play by the pitcher, though, to stay with it after getting hit with that hot shot. Had the wherewithal to check that runner at third base. Felix PA going on contact from third base. An easy out at the plate.
And Michael Barrett returning to the lineup. We know what happened on Friday. Had the confrontation with his battery mate Carlos Zambrano. Took 6 stitches in his lip and did not play on Saturday or Sunday.
Really? I hadn't heard that.
Where have you been?
You would have to be out of the country not to know what happened between Michael Barrett and Carlos Zambrano.
Carlos will pitch on Wednesday afternoon and will likely have Coy Hill as his catcher. The 0-1 on the way. Low and outside.
Well, you know, even though he was hitless in the ball game yesterday, I thought Coy Hill did a great job with Sean Marshall. Marmol and Dempster also in that ball game. Coy Hill called and caught a very good ball game.
1-2. In case you're wondering, the win yesterday goes on the record of Lou Piniella. And all the games that Alan Trammell will manage with Lou suspended, those will count on Pinella's record and not on Alan Trammell's. As we talked about yesterday, managed the Detroit Tigers for 3 seasons, 2003 through 05. Bush has a sign. You see Estrada moving toward the outside corner. And a little bit wide, 2-2. Big crowds expected during this entire series. Should be in the mid to upper 30s tonight and tomorrow, and possibly a sellout on Wednesday. Swing and a miss and a strikeout. And with a breaking ball to get Barrett. The Cubs, however, get a run on 3 hits. And it'll be Jason Marquis to the mound when we come back.
When you search for a car at Autotrader.com, we send more cars your way than anyone. A lot more cars. So you can narrow it down by model, the color, even the price. And when you search from the largest selection,
That's the one.
you get the car you want at the price you want. No one has more cars in Chicagoland. Autotrader.com, the ultimate automotive marketplace.
Hey, man.
Hey.
Give you a hand?
Sure, yeah. Just take the... oh.
No. Hey, guys. Check this out. So you pop the top, little tap action, boom. Get the glass. A little something I like to call liquid gold.
Did you see what Mikey brought?
Yeah. I brought a sandwich.
Okay.
It's got Gouda. Smoked Gouda, actually.
Again, I take full... I gotta run.
Yeah, he's thinking Arby's new toasted subs. Toasted to perfection and served hot. So delicious, they'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's. Visit Arby's.com for a chance to win a day with a real stuntman.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Chevy. Log on now to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check us out today at ChevyDriveChicago.com. Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. Your local area Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Rico, how well do you print, copy, scan, fax? How well do you share? Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, shining through. Cadillac, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit. And by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares farther. Visit Southwest.com.
So here we go in the bottom of the first inning. Corey Hart leading it off. Ricky Weeks, their normal leadoff hitter, is on the disabled list. The second baseman with right wrist tendonitis. He had surgery on that wrist last year. So Hart filling in the leadoff spot. This is a team that hits a lot of home runs. They're second in the National League with 73. And Jason Marquis done a nice job keeping the ball in the ballpark, and it'll be a chore tonight against this powerful Brewers lineup. 2-1. Get you the rest of their lineup here momentarily.
You mentioned Ricky Weeks and that right wrist. He had a long day on Friday. Got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, flew to Phoenix to see Dr. Don Sheridan, a hand specialist. Had his appointment, went back to the airport, sat for 4 hours waiting on his return flight. Turned into about a 19 or 20-hour day, just flying to Phoenix to see a doctor and then flying back to Milwaukee.
So he's had enough flying for a while. The 28-year-old right-hander deals. It's high, and the count is now full, 3-2. Well, you never want to walk the leadoff hitter, but especially in front of J.J. Hardy, who already has hit 16 home runs. He is second in the National League in home runs and RBIs. The pitch in the air, not deep, as Felix Pie comes racing in, camps under it, and that's out number one. And the rest of Ned Yost's Southwest starting lineup. Mention Hardy, how hot he's been. Rookie Ryan Braun called up recently. How about hitting between Hardy and Fielder? Prince Fielder leads the league in home runs. Johnny Estrada back of the plate. Jeff Jenkins at left. It's Bill Hall in center. Craig Counsell, the veteran, at second. And Dave Bush, the pitcher.
Take a look at the Cubs defensively. Brought to you by Rico. Soriano, PA, and Jones across the outfield. Ramirez is Torres, DeRosa, and Lee across the infield. Michael Barrett back in the lineup, and he'll be catching Jason Marquis this evening. Marquis got knocked around a little bit his last time out against the Florida Marlins when he gave up 8 hits and 4 earned runs in 5 innings pitched. But other than that, he has been pretty solid this year.
That ended his 5-game winning streak, his first loss since April 10th. And he's 4-1 with a 173 against the National League Central. Now it's 2-1. Larry Rothschild and Matt Sinatro, the Cubs coaching staff. Rich Rupp from the clubhouse staff in the background does have the gray uniform on. He's the bat boy once again, cranked in the left. And a one-hop single to the left fielder. And J.J. Hardy is on for Ryan Braun.
You talk about a real nice rocking chair in the lineup between J.J. Hardy and Prince Fielder. Yeah, a lot of times a rookie will come to the major leagues and a manager will bury him down in that 7 or 8 spot in the lineup, just kind of ease him in. Ryan Braun thrown right into the fire. And rightfully so. This guy has hit everywhere he's been. He's batting .342 with 10 homers and 22 RBIs in 34 games in the minor leagues this year before his recall to the big leagues.
Came up from AAA Nashville on May 24th. The Brewers were in dire need of some offense at that point. They had been platooning veterans Craig Counsell and Tony Graffinino at the hot corner. Well, those guys now platooning at second base, filling in for Ricky Weeks. And while neither of those guys, Bob, has hit for average this year, Pretty smart when you think about how Doug Melvin constructed this roster with a very young infield. Those two guys are extremely versatile. And so they move that platoon now from third to second with Weeks on the disabled list.
And although Graffinino probably not as agile as you'd like to see a shortstop, I'm sure he could play that position if necessary. I know Craig Counsell can play anywhere on the field you ask him to, but you're absolutely right. If you're going to have a young starting lineup, it really benefits to have veteran players to fill in from time to time.
2 balls, no strikes on Braun. And the pitch from Marquis. There's a strike on a sinker.
Well, this is our first look at Ryan Braun, but we have heard that he has a lightning quick swing. He's one of those hitters that appears that the ball is almost into the hitting area before he even initiates his swing, and still quick enough to put the ball in play with authority.
Well, there's that quick bat as he singles into center, first and second. And if the regular season ended today, the guy coming up to the plate might be the National League MVP, Prince Fielder, leading the league with 19 home runs already, and he just was named the National League Player of the Month for May.
Judging from that last swing, Ryan Braun is a guy to be reckoned with in this Brewers lineup, but there's no doubt that J.J. Hardy and Prince Fielder are the two guys you need to control. Keep runners off base ahead of them if at all possible.
So today, Fielder getting the honor of Player of the Month. He had .321 with 13 home runs and 28 RBIs in the second month of the season. Those home runs established a new club record for home runs in any month. Swung on and missed, 1-1. How about that? 22 home runs from two guys on the same team in only 1 month.
I think a lot of people expected Prince Fielder to be that kind of a home run hitter. I don't think anybody expected J.J. Hardy to put up those kind of power numbers.
Good pitch. And it's 1-2. Jason would love to get a ground ball here. Trying to get out of this inning as the Cubs are set up in double play depth. The 1-2 pitch, little bit inside, not by much. 2-2.
Talked about Dave Bush using that pitch, the off the body sinker to the left-handed hitter. Jason Marquis tries to go to that well, just doesn't come back quite enough to catch the inside corner.
Fouled off by Fielder. Now Jason's throwing hard. 2 pitches ago he hit 94 on his fastball. That according to the stadium radar gun.
Yeah, those radar guns, there's always some discrepancy, and it'll read different pitches differently. And by that I mean in general low pitches tend to register a little bit hotter than high pitches for whatever reason. The administrative coach that we had in Arizona who ran the radar gun behind home plate told me that the 2 pitches that look identical, one up in the strike zone above the belt, one down near the knees, the one near the knees will register a little bit faster.
Keep that in mind at the carnival.
Yeah.
When you pay your $5. Fielder reached out, popped it up. Marquis going after it. Michael got off to a late start, and it's going to drop right in the front row. I'm not sure if Michael saw it, but it may have cost him because he got off to that late start. Jason did find the ball, but he got over there a little late. That was a long run from the pitcher's mound. That was catchable.
Yeah, Michael just didn't see it initially off the bat up in the rooftop here at Miller Park, and certainly looked like it was reachable if either player would have been able to get there in time.
So that gives Fielder another opportunity. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 men on. We're in the first inning. The Cubs got a run. There they go. It's outside, and the bases are loaded. And out comes Larry Rothschild. But again, Bob, I'm not saying that Michael absolutely makes the catch, but as you said, Fielder and Hardy are the 2 guys you really have to contain, and you never want to give them more than 1 opportunity.
Oh, absolutely not. And now sets up a bases loaded situation for Johnny Estrada, who got off to a great start offensively this year. However, in the last 20 ball games, he's hitting just over 200. His average has dropped about 45 points in the last 20 games. See, Jason Marquis sees it right away, but he's got a long way to go to get there. Michael Barrett finally does find the ball and unfortunately can't get there in time.
So 2 singles and a walk, and they are loaded up for the switch hitter Johnny Estrada. Away for ball 1. I will say this, in the times we have come here, it seems like there are more Brewer fans in attendance. I know that sounds strange to say because we are in Milwaukee, but normally you definitely hear the Cub fans as much, if not more, than the Brewer fans. That doesn't seem to be the case early on.
Although on Aramis Ramirez's double down the left field line, the entire left side of the stadium was on their feet. So I think it's pretty much split right behind home plate. Most of the Cub fans on the third base side and most of the Brewers fans on the first base side. But there's blue hats scattered everywhere in the ballpark tonight.
Basically everything that happens, somebody's going to cheer.
Yeah.
Kick in the 1-1. There's a ground ball near short. They get an out at second base and at first. And you can't hear the Cub fans. They're up as Jason Marquis gets out of it. Bases loaded situation. No runs. 1-0 Cubs.
Flying to the Washington area for business? If these 15 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines nonstop to Baltimore, Washington, and Washington Dulles International, maybe this will. Unlike other airlines, our low fares don't have hidden fees.
You are now free to move about the country.
Stop, Hub! Where should we sit? Right at first base. Wait, how about along the third baseline? Wow, this is great. Just like having season tickets. Looking for great seats? Buy tickets from other fans. Have extra tickets? Sell them to other fans. Go to StubHub.com today for tickets to the hottest sports, concert, and theater events, even if they're sold out. Peanuts. Hey, there's still tickets right behind home plate. Peanuts. Let's go for it. StubHub. Your choice. Your ticket. Your experience. StubHub.
Recently, car enthusiasts in LA and DC compared Camry, Accord, and the all-wheel drive Ford Fusion. In performance, handling, and styling, one car came in first, Ford Fusion. Now drivers across the country are weighing in. On Yahoo Autos, an independent research site, users gave the Ford Fusion a higher overall rating than the top 2 imports in its class. Take the Ford Challenge. See why Fusion is the better choice. Visit your Ford dealer or go to FordChallenge.com. Tomorrow, it's a showdown on the South Side when Jim Thome and the White Sox battle Derek Jeter and the Yankees in high definition, followed by U.S. Cellular White Sox postgame live. White Sox Yankees tomorrow night at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
And our Panasonic replay coming up. One of the big moments of the year. And the Cubs hope that this can really turn them around. There's Mark DeRosa with his second career grand slam in the first inning with 2 outs. He took it out, and the Cubs did not look back yesterday.
And hopefully DeRosa won't get suspended for inciting the crowd there at Wrigley Field with his grand slam home run.
Well said. Yeah, that's the only part of the Lou Piniella suspension that I don't really understand. And that crowd was going to be on its feet and into it no matter what happened. I would I would call inciting the crowd by literally a guy looking toward the stands and encouraging them to cheer or boo or whatever. One ball, 2 strikes.
I thought Mark DeRosa put it best after the ball game the other day about just letting some air out of the balloon. You know, you could just feel the tension around the ball club and in the ballpark, looking for something to just release that tension a little bit, let a little bit of air out of the balloon, and certainly a grand slam home run will do that.
Oh, I'm sure some of his former Braves teammates are going to hear it in the offseason. Mark and his family resides in Atlanta in the offseason. He still stays in touch with many current members of the Braves. After a 5 RBI performance, I'm sure it'll come up at some point.
Yeah, probably the minute he gets home.
Still 1-2.
You can watch Dave Bush out there on the mound. One of his mechanisms that he uses, we talk about deception all the time. A pitcher that either hides the ball very well or gives you a lot of movement in his delivery. Dave Bush is very slow and deliberate with his windup, especially when he gets to the top right there and then just explodes towards home plate.
He rings up DeRosa for his 3rd strikeout.
A lot of surprises early in the ball game from Dave Bush. He comes as advertised, relies on that sinking fastball. He'll throw it to both sides of the plate. He's mixed in a couple of breaking balls, but just relying on the movement on that fastball, trying to keep it out of the middle of the plate.
Now Cesar Izturis, who has hit .342 on the road, just .132 at home, and gets a start tonight. Bush 0-1 this year against the Cubs, 1-3 in his career. This is his 7th start against the Northsiders. First start for Izturis since last Tuesday against Florida.
Boy, the Brewers give Izturis a lot of room out in that right center field gap. We talk about this all the time, especially coming off the Braves series when we saw their outfielders overshift drastically. It really is on Dave Bush to hit his spots. If you're going to move your left fielder way over toward the left field line like Jeff Jenkins is, Bill Hall over in the gap in left center leaves a lot of room in right center. It's very important for Dave Bush to hit his spots if you're going to play the defense like this.
And speaking of defense, Bob, if you have a guy like Izturis who's not playing a whole lot, we talk about matching up catchers with certain pitchers. Would you be best served having a defensive type shortstop with a sinker baller like Jason Marquis?
Absolutely. And most managers, you know, all things being equal, they're going to play their best defenders when they have a sinker ball pitcher on the mound.
Another pop up. Brewers might have a play on it. Yep, they're going to have a lot of room here. Johnny Estrada with a basket catch. Tickets are available now for Cubs home games, in particular the June 11th makeup game. That's 1 week from tonight versus Houston at 7:05. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Call 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit the Wrigley Field box office. A big 1-game series against Houston next Monday. And it's Seattle and the San Diego Padres.
Well, it'll be a very short advance meeting facing the Astros. You only have to go over one starting pitcher.
Just like that, 2 strikes. We were talking the other day about Jason Marquis and loving the National League as a pitcher and a pretty good hitter as well. cranks that one, but it will be run down by Bill Hall. Yeah, Jason said he had a couple of American League teams that had an interest, but he loves being a baseball player. That's why he's still in the National League. 1-0.
Wake up to rivalry and wake up to McDonald's. Get any 2 biscuit sandwiches for just $3.
The safest accident is the one that never happens. The 2008 Lexus RX with 14 actively safe features. Learn more at activelysafe.com.
Pressure. Enemy of engines. Enemy of pressure. Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic with adaptive molecules that continually join forces to help conquer pressure. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Wake up! Wake up to rivalry and wake up to McDonald's new iced coffee in 3 delicious flavors.
Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Aflac. Ask about it at work. And by Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world.
Hey fans, it's your turn to play catch in the outfield, run the bases, or relax in the dugouts at beautiful Wrigley Field. The Hey Dad Wanna Have a Catch event presented by Motorola is on Saturday, June 23rd. Limited tickets are still available by logging on to www.cubs.com. All proceeds benefit Cubs Care, a fund of the McCormick Tribune Foundation.
Well, you'd like to see Jason Marquis throw more strikes. 25 pitches in the first inning. He only found the zone 13 times. 2 first pitch strikes against the first 5 hitters, and he'll go after Jeff Jenkins. Jenkins just 10 for his last 54. He's a career .333 hitter and 27 at bats against Marquis. Bottom 2, here we go, and a first pitch strike. Yeah, back on Jason as a national leaguer. He said, you know, being able to bat and run the bases, those are important things to him. He said not so much for the glory of hitting a home run, but he views himself as a baseball player, not just a pitcher. And the other thing is there's a bit of a comfort zone for him. He said, I know there's interleague play and the hitters move around a lot, but he knows this league. And so those were some of the factors that led to him signing with the Chicago Cubs.
Well, obviously, Jason, a very good athlete, or he wouldn't be able to do all those other things as well as he does. But I think he realizes at this stage of his career that he can keep himself in some ball games with his ability to run the bases and swing the bat, field his position. That may buy him one more inning in a ball game when the manager may be thinking about taking him out.
Got through Barrett. Here's a throw. He took his time, and it hit the backside of Jeff Jenkins. So a strikeout and a ball that got by the catcher, and the leadoff hitter is on.
Yeah, it looked like Michael was asking home plate umpire Sam Holbrook if Jenkins was inside the baseline. That was a breaking ball that just got underneath the glove of Michael Barrett, trickles a little bit behind home plate. Gets on it quickly. Unfortunately, his throw nails Jenkins right in the wallet. You can see Jenkins is clearly within that retaining box down the first baseline.
Still waiting for determination on whether that was a pass ball or wild pitch. We know it was a strikeout. And ball 1 on Bill Hall. Passed ball, and that's the 8th passed ball charged to Michael Barrett. Low for ball 2. Well, the fact, Bob, that Bill Hall is hitting 7th in the Milwaukee lineup, it tells you two things. Number one, he hasn't really gotten hot. And number two, it tells you how good some of these other Milwaukee hitters have been, because when you think of Bill Hall in the year he had last year, you think of a number 3, number 4, at worst number 5 hitter. But he's hitting 7th.
And Bill Hall has really worked hard on his defense. There was some question as to whether he would be able to make the switch to center field this year. He did make 4 errors in his first 11 games out in center field, but has only made 1 since. Spends a lot of his early part of the afternoon out there in center field, shagging balls off the fungo bat to his right, to his left, in, back.
Well, he did hit cleanup until fairly recently, through May 23rd, when he was bumped down in the order, and Prince Fielder, who was hitting 3rd, moved down to hit 4th. Pitch is high, 3-2. I'll say it again. With the powerful lineup the Brewers have, you must not give them extra outs. And Marquis striking out Jenkins, but reaching at first base on the pass ball. I mean, this is a team that has made opponents pay. In some cases, Ned Yost's club has relied too heavily on the home run. But this is an offensive park and an offensive team. Driven the other way, right field, it's deep. Jock Jones back toward the warning track's going to be over his head. Jenkins had to wait to make sure as he rounded second. They're at second and third with no outs. And there you have it. 14th double of the year for Hall, and they're in business.
A sinker in the middle of the plate. Hall hit that ball pretty good. Looked like he was posing a little bit. Thought he hit it better than he really did. Jock Jones shies away from the wall out there at the last instant. I think he could have probably taken another step or two, but he hit the warning track, thought he was getting close to the wall. And in that area where the ball landed out there, the warning track is a lot deeper than it is straightaway left field or straightaway center field. There's a little, right there where you see that skid mark over near the well. Warning track is a lot deeper right there. We talked about outfielders on the warning track the other day. They use their sense of feel when they go off the grass and onto that track to be a warning system when they're getting close to the wall. And that time, Jock Jones, unfortunately, was at that area of the track where it's exceptionally wide.
Here's Craig Counsell. Ramirez pulled in at third. Everybody else back. And he takes it just off the outside corner. So he plays second base tonight. Probably see Tony Graffinino tomorrow night against the left-hander Ted Lilly. First start this year for Marquis against Milwaukee. 4-6 in his career with a .443 in 13 previous appearances, including 11 starts. Is high. And we understand Luke Piniella, who of course cannot be in the dugout and has some restrictions if he were to be in the visiting clubhouse tonight. He's actually watching the game from our level up in the loge area in a private box with Jim Hendry, the general manager. And you can sometimes get a very interesting and different view of your ball club when you sit where we sit. We talk so much about how the game slows down. Randy Bush, the assistant general manager, also with Lou Piniella, who is out of uniform tonight, and he will not manage the rest of this series, serving a 4-game suspension, which started yesterday. A lot different view in this spot than where Alan Trammell is.
Oh, yeah. And the old saying about the further away from the field you get, the smarter you are. So Lou will be able to figure it out easily up here tonight.
Well, they're loaded. And it is the pitcher, Dave Bush, coming up, but Larry Rothschild's going to head out.
You know, and in all seriousness, Len, you know, obviously we wish Lou was down in the dugout. I'm sure he wishes he were down in the dugout, but what an opportunity to sit with your general manager and your assistant general manager and watch a ball game. And I'm sure they're dissecting every member of this Cubs roster as they come to the plate or make plays defensively. And that's an opportunity that you normally would not have during the course of a ball game. Cubs are going to play their corners in defensively with the pitcher at the plate, playing back up the middle for a double play up the middle of the field should he go that direction.
Strike one on Bush. 3 hits, 2 have been doubles. Couple of bases loaded jams in a 40-pitch inning in the 4th for Jason Marquis, his last time out against Florida. Little tapper. They get the out at the plate and at first base. 1, 2, 3 on the double play. I'll tell you what, when that ball was hit, I was thinking just get the out at the plate, but they not only got that, they got the double play. So now 2 outs and runners left at second and third.
Well, they had that right guy running at the plate to turn this double play. Dave Bush a little slow getting out of the batter's box, stumbles a little bit. Good firm underhanded toss from Jason Marquis to Michael Barrett, allowing him to at least have the option of turning that double play. And when he looked up and saw where Dave Bush was, he realized he had a clean lane to throw to first base, turned it into an easy double play.
So if he can get Corey Hart, he will have escaped again. Strike the count. Bill Hall at third base. Craig Counsell at second. Cubs lead 1-0, but the Brewers threatening. Diving stop by Ramirez. Throw to first. They got him. What a play. If it gets past him, the Brewers take the lead. But the Cubs still lead 1-0. How about this play?
This has been an amazing month, and it just keeps getting better. Thanks to all my new friends at Pontiac, we're collecting more cards for the troops than we ever could have on our own. And now they want to say thanks to you.
The Pontiac Memorial Day sales event has been extended through June 4th. Get 0% financing plus $1,000 bonus cash on Pontiac G5, G6, and Torrent models. It's our way of saying thanks. See your local Pontiac dealer by June 4th.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
QC Auto Service Centers, serving the Quad City area for over 30 years.
Hi, this is Dan Elias for QC Auto Service Centers. Let's talk brakes. Do you have to stomp on your brakes to stop?
Ensure your family's safety by driving into any one of our 3 QC Auto Service Centers. Our techs will inspect your vehicle's brakes free. We'll install lifetime guaranteed original equipment, brake pads, and shoes.
QC Auto Centers with 3 convenient locations: Bettendorf, Davenport, and Moline, keeping you on the road.
So, you're a green person, but which shade? Confusing, isn't it? Well, True Value's Color Made Simple can help. With exclusive tools, trained professionals, and expert advice, finding your color will always be simple. Now let's talk purple. True Value's Color Made Simple.
Meeting the challenge since 1940.
What a half inning that was. Jason Marquis got out of it. Bases loaded, nobody out, got a double play ball, and one of the best defensive plays we've seen all year from Aramis Ramirez.
Yeah, I was already anticipating Alfonso Soriano's throw to home plate there on the trail runner, but Ramirez just laid out, made a tremendous play just to get to the ball, and then got to his feet quickly, threw to first for the out. Beautiful play.
Preserving the 1-0 advantage. One strike on Soriano, who has scored the lone run tonight.
We talk about a run-saving play. Ramirez just a couple of steps and a dive. That ball was almost past him when he made the play. Quickly gets to his feet and a strong throw for the out.
Soriano with a team-leading 34th run as he was knocked home by the Ramirez double. Derek Lowe had a no-hitter going for the Dodgers in Pittsburgh, but Freddie Sanchez broke it up, and the Pirates scored 3 times to close the gap. They were down 5-0, but now trail 5-3 as they go to the 8th. 2-2 on the way. Up the middle, base hit. Soriano stays hot.
Good to see him go back up the middle of the field on that 2-strike pitch. That was a slider away from him. Not hard to figure out that Soriano likes to pull the ball. He'll reach out over the plate and hook balls back to left field that are off the corner away, but that time just stayed on it, went right back up the middle of the field.
To get Soriano into scoring position. The Cubs, who had been struggling in that department, went 7 for 11. They've been in scoring position yesterday. They're 1 for 4 tonight. They also scored 6 times over the first 3 innings. And that bucked a trend that saw just 4 of their 16 runs over their previous 6 games come in the 5th inning or earlier. On the season, almost half of the Cubs' runs have come in the 6th or later. Now, you like to see a team, who's down come back late. But we talk about momentum, and everything was sparked yesterday by that big grand slam in the 1st inning. Makes the starting pitcher relax, makes the offense relax a little bit.
Not to mention the starting pitcher can relax a little bit, not to be quite so fine. If he happens to fall behind in the count, Sean Marshall had the luxury of just attacking the middle of the strike zone. Now, those grand slams are a good thing.
Grand slams are good. With 2-0 to PA. Good take. That pitch was not too far out of the strike zone, but good to see a free swinger sit on it. Now 3-0.
Normally this is a run count. 3-1. Bush has to throw a strike right here or risk walking Felix PA. You almost play it like a hit and run as that base runner at first base. You try to get as good a jump as you can without the risk of getting picked off.
There he goes, and a bounding ball behind Soriano. Good job by Alfonso to locate that ground ball. Remember yesterday Ramirez was hit by a ground ball off the bat of Jock Jones. I asked Jock how many times that's happened. And he is credited with a base hit on a play like that. He said 2 or 3 times in his career. And that was right before that grand slam.
And you see Soriano, in my humble opinion, did the right thing. If you see that ground ball coming in your direction, you can do one of 2 things. Stop or keep running. As soon as you leave your feet to jump and try to get over the ball, that's normally when a base runner gets hit. I think most organizations teach their runners either continue running or stop completely. Don't jump.
The bottom line is it's much easier for that ball to go up than to kick and go right or left. the way. Ground ball. In the hole, it's short. Backhanded by Counsell. Long throw. They get him. Soriano trying to get the third, and he will get in. So Derek Lee thrown out on a nice play by, like I said, Counsell was J.J. Hardy on that throw. And 2 outs in the inning, runner at third.
Key to the play is how quickly J.J. Hardy got rid of this baseball. Goes way to his right, backhand and throw all in one motion. And because he did make the play like that, he didn't really check Alfonso Soriano very much. He knew he had to hurry to get Derek Lee at first base. Didn't check Soriano at second, and Soriano was able to move on up to third base.
It's been a big night already for Aramis, offensively and defensively. Well, again, going back to your comment, Prince Fielder plays so far away from first base.
We talked about last time we played the Brewers. I played a little bit of first base in my career. I'd be scared to death to be playing that far off first base. I mean, obviously there's a timing element involved with your infielders. They know how far you're playing off the bag, and they know how much time it's going to take you to get there. So they time their throws appropriately, but boy, that would scare me to death.
I'll tell you, one other guy in this division who's not afraid to play way off the bag is Albert Pujols. As great a hitter as Prince Fielder is defensively, you just ask him to make the routine plays.
The kind of hitter he is, all you ask him is don't get hurt on defense.
Bush with a 1-1 popped up. The aforementioned Fielder. He makes it a foul pop as he hauls it in. Leadoff single, no runs as Soriano is stranded 90 feet away. It's still 1-0 Cubs.
Toyota introduced the Prius Hybrid and created a phenomenon. In fact, it took us by surprise. So we made more, which means you can find the right one for you. And we're offering savings up to $2,000 on option packages for the first time. America, your Prius is ready. The wait is over. Test drive America's most fuel-efficient car today.
Hey, man. Hey. Give you a hand? Sure, yeah. Just take the, Hey, guys. Check this out. So you pop the top, little tap action, boom, get the glass. A little something I like to call liquid gold.
Did you see what Mikey brought?
Yeah, I brought a sandwich.
Okay.
It's got Gouda. Smoked Gouda, actually.
This has been an amazing month, and it just keeps getting better. Thanks to all my new friends at Pontiac, we're collecting more cards for the troops than we ever could have on our own. And now they want to say thanks to you.
The Pontiac Memorial Day sales event has been extended through June 4th. Get 0% financing plus $1,000 bonus cash on Pontiac G5, G6, and Torrent models. It's our way of saying thanks. See your local Pontiac dealer by June 4th.
Thursday, the Cubs are on Comcast Sportsnet. The Northsiders road trip continues with a stop in Hotlanta for a slugfest with the Braves, followed by Cubs postgame live. Cubs Braves Thursday at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Experience Cubs baseball from the private comfort of the Batter's Eye Lounge in center field. Offering a spectacular view and catered service for groups of 25 to 100. The Batter's Eye is a great option for entertaining in Chicago, especially on summer weekends. Call 773-404-CUBS or visit Cubs.com. Brewers have stranded 4. They've had the bases loaded in each of the first 2 innings against Jason Marquis. And you just have the feeling, Bob, this game is going to go one of 2 ways for Jason Marquis. He's either going to give up a crooked number or he's going to settle in, and the Brewers have already had their best chances. 2-1.
And not to belabor the point any more than we already have, but J.J. Hardy and Prince Fielder, this is almost going to be a game of like field position in football. How does the lineup roll around? Where do those two guys fall in the batting order each time they come to the plate? Gotta love having J.J. Hardy lead off the inning. He grounds out to short. No harm done. I mean, between them, they have 35 of the 73 home runs that the Brewers have hit this year.
We've gotten several emails about that. Michael Barrett has gone back to the hockey style mask, which he did wear at one point in his career, but at one point he went back to the old school mask. If you'd like to send us an email, it's Len and Bob at ComcastSportsNet.com.
And I'm just speculating. I didn't talk to Michael. I didn't know he was going to change back to the hockey mask, but perhaps it's because it puts less pressure on the area where he has the stitches in his mouth. Yeah, the old school mask sits a little differently on your face than the hockey style mask, and maybe this one is just more comfortable with the injury Michael has to his lip.
Now the biggest adjustment might be what? On foul pops, you don't usually take off the hockey style mask.
A lot of catchers don't take it off. We saw Johnny Estrada chase down a foul pop-up earlier in the ball game, and he left his mask on. Brad Ausmus from Houston leaves the mask on pop-ups. I would find that incredibly distracting myself, but apparently it doesn't bother guys. They talk about the visibility with those hockey style masks is much better peripheral vision. Bars aren't quite as thick as the old school mask. Just better vision all the way around.
Well, the only concern about Ryan Braun, there's the old school look, has been his defense. But we are told that he's been fine defensively since he got the call-up on May 24th.
And it is kind of surprising because at the University of Miami, he was a shortstop and made everybody's all-everything team every year he played there. Continued into the minor leagues with the Brewers, went to the Arizona Fall League, where he made the all-star team, hit 6 home runs and 25 RBIs in 25 games.
Nice snag by Ramirez. That ball was hit hard.
And the one stat that kind of jumped out at me about Ryan Braun was the fact that in 36 at-bats coming into play tonight, he'd already grounded into 4 double plays, but a lot of that has to do with how hard he hits the ball. It gets to the infielders quickly, and they have a lot of time to turn double plays when there's a runner at first base. Ramirez is able to stay with that hot shot.
Two down. Here's Prince Fielder. Deep to left. And Alfonso Soriano will watch it just get out. Prince Fielder with his 20th home run. So he's now tied for the major league lead. Alex Rodriguez with that game winner last night at Boston. That was his 20th.
That's a big, strong man right there. Pitches on the outer part of the plate. He just goes with it to the opposite field with authority. Once again, talking about that field position game. Fortunately, damage was limited. Solo home run.
Popped up by Johnny Estrada. Out near the mound, Jason Marquis calling on drops. Oh, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Cubs within about 3 feet of where that ball bounced. Now, normally, the pitcher lets somebody else catch it, but Jason called for it, and everybody else let him go after it, and it dropped. And it's a hit.
No, Jason's making the call, no question about it. I'm not sure if he heard somebody else make a call, and that's why he gave way, but that's a ball that definitely has to be caught. Michael Barrett all the way out to the mound. That's not his ball. That's got to be one of the corner infielders coming in there to make that play.
Now they have charged an error, no hit. An error charged to Jason Marquis. Now is A-Rod in the building?
I don't think so. Big out right here.
Yeah, you are right.
Overcome the mistake. I mean, mistakes are going to happen on the field. Don't let them compound and turn into a bad inning.
Well, we know that's going to make all the highlight shows, but you hope it's an isolated situation here in the third inning. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jeff Jenkins.
And more than anything else, Len, that's just a matter of communication. As you said, you've got 5 players standing there within reach of the baseball. Somebody has to take charge and make the call, and then somebody else has to give way and say, you take it. I mean, normally on a pop-up like that in the middle of the infield, the pitcher is just a traffic cop. He calls people on the play, he calls people off the play, but that time Jason Marquis was making the call for the fly ball. Everybody else stopped. Yeah, normally the pitcher would be out of the dirt area right there directing traffic, letting his infielders know who had the best chance to make the catch.
Ground ball, DeRosa to his right. And that error does not hurt the Cubs, fortunately. But Prince Fielder with an opposite field home run, number 20 on the year. And a game-time blast. It's 1-1 after 3.
The most realistic baseball sim ever. MLB 07 The Show, only on PlayStation. Rated E for everyone.
Experience a Cubs game at historic Wrigley Field. Individual tickets are available for upcoming games. Get your tickets now by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS, visiting the Wrigley Field box office, or by logging on to Cubs.com. See you at beautiful Wrigley Field.
The K&G 2 Suits for $150 event is on. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 2 selected men's suits for just $150. That's less than the price of 1 at a department store. K&G Fashion Superstore.
When you search for a car at Autotrader.com, we send more cars your way than anyone. A lot more cars. So you can narrow it down by model, the color, even the price. And when you search from the largest selection,
that's the one.
You get the car you want at the price you want. No one has more cars in Chicagoland. Autotrader.com, the ultimate automotive marketplace.
With Mark Shanowski, I'm Pat Boyle. It's all suspensions all the time on Land Rover Sports Night. We'll have reaction to Tank Johnson's suspension.
Plus more on Lou Pinella's penalty, and Michael Barrett and Carlos Sobrano talk things out. It's all after Cubs postgame live.
Well, let's take a look at our Aflac trivia question for tonight. Ned Yost, the Brewers manager, wears number 3 as a tribute to whom? We'll get the answer in the bottom of the inning. We can tell you this, not a baseball player. And I asked Ned Yost about his broken collarbone after he took that spill while jogging on the north side in April when the Brewers were at Wrigley Field. He said he's feeling better, but still hasn't been able to throw batting practice.
I think I actually know the answer to this trivia question.
Well, keep it to yourself.
I will.
Jock Jones, Oppo. Jenkins back. He will leap and make the catch. Sounded good off the bat. I don't know if it would have gotten out, but a jumping grab by Jeff Jenkins.
I got to tell you, Len, I don't know whether it's the split crowd here tonight or the importance of this series, but every pitch, every play, every swing of the bat, the fans are just seriously into this game. Nice catch by Jeff Jenkins back against the out-of-town scoreboard.
That ball looked like it might have hit the yellow line or near that area, so it may have in fact been able to get out. He wasn't right up against the wall when he made the leap. It would have been close. Jock has hit 2 balls extremely hard, and he's 0 for 2. That fielder's choice he hit into in the first inning. That ball knocked down by the pitcher, Dave Bush. J.J. Hardy, 2 outs. Now DeRosa with 2 outs and nobody on. Well, let's go back to early April. It was Dave Bush's first inning of the year. This capped a 6-run first inning for the Cubs, as Mark DeRosa took it out. That was back on April 6th. And the Cubs won that game 9-3.
And that home run came on a hanging breaking ball. But if you look at the Cubs lineup, I think the 2 guys that figure to have the best success tonight against Dave Bush are Mark DeRosa and Alfonso Soriano. Both really good low ball hitters. Fielder's going to run out of room chasing that foul ball. Real good low ball hitters, and if Dave Bush is on top of his game, he's going to pound that sinker down around the knees, which figures to play into the strength of Soriano and DeRosa.
Dave Bush is 6'2", 209 pounds, 27 years old. Second-round pick of the Toronto Blue Jays out of Wake Forest in 2002. He was born in Pittsburgh. DeRosa able to hold up. Had a double major in psychology and sociology at Wake Forest. And his college team went 73-0 in 2001 and 2002 and leading after 7 innings while he was the closer.
Automatic.
Charged by Braun. And Fielder able to stay on first base. Nice play by Prince Fielder with DeRosa racing by. And Dave Bush with his second 1-2-3 inning. It's 1-1.
Hey, boss, do we have Aflac?
Yeah, we have something else.
But if you're hurt and miss work, does it pay cash like Aflac does?
Nah.
Or let you spend it any way you want, like for gas and groceries?
Nah.
Or help with everyday bills like Aflac does?
Nah.
There's only one Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Nice try, boss.
Aflac.
This is the place. Let's go. Open 24 hours. Common sense never sleeps. 2-for-1 hot dogs with all the fixings. Now, that's how you help people live the high life. Hey, how you doing, bud? There you go. This place is a mountain of goodness in a mixed-up world. Thank you very much. Now, come over here. I got something to show you. We got a surprise for you. Switch it on, boys. Certified purveyors of the high life. That's you, buddy.
Certified purveyors of the Miller High Life.
Yeah, proof the world hasn't gone completely crazy.
Chevy. With 8 models that get an EPA estimated 30 miles per gallon highway or better. And we're so confident of our quality, every one is backed by something no one else has. The best coverage in America, including the GM 100,000-mile warranty. Get a 2007 Chevy HHRLS with an EPA estimated 30 highway MPG starting at $15,845 after cash back. That's an 07 HHRLS starting at $15,845 after cash back.
Let's get the answer to tonight's Aflac trivia question. Ned Yost wears number 3 as a tribute to whom? Well, you think you know the answer?
Aflac.
Yeah, the Intimidator. Right. The Intimidator. Dale Earnhardt.
Now, they were very good friends. The late Dale Earnhardt. I guess Ned Yost was a pit crew member with Dale Earnhardt during the work stoppage in 1994. A strike to start the bottom of the fourth. Some high-stress innings for Jason Marquis. They loaded him up in each of the first two, and then he had that two-out error after the Prince Fielder home run in the third.
Well, that experience working on Dale Earnhardt pit crew will come in handy if the wheels start to come off for the Brewers this year. Tighten those lug nuts.
I got to drive one of those cars once.
Really?
I don't think I was going very fast, but what I noticed is pulls to the left. It really does. The straightaways are almost more difficult. You go around the turns, and that's where the steering wheel is going naturally. Up and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's a little like baseball, you know. You just keep making left turns. Run to first, take a left. Go to second, take a left. Go to third, take a left.
Bill Hall lines it into center. He has a double and a single. Well, the Brewers got off to such a great start, 24-10 to start the year. Since then, they have gone just 8-15. They have lost 6 of their last 7 series. Their only winning series was the just completed set against Florida. Now look at this. They've lost 15 of 23. They haven't lost anything off their lead. That's pretty amazing.
It's amazing and somewhat disappointing. You look for those opportunities to creep back into a pennant race, even though it's a little early in the season to talk pennant race, but you take your opportunities where you can get them, and when the team that's sitting atop the division struggles the way the Brewers have, you'd like to think you can make up some ground.
One strike on Craig Counsell. Well, the Brewers and Cubs have basically been playing the same schedule during this stretch. And when the Cubs struggled out west, the Brewers played worse. Now they're 17-8 against the Central. They're 8-2 against Florida and Washington, and 7-15 against everybody else. So the good news for Ned Yost is that they have beaten the teams they should beat. But those teams that are above 500, they have struggled against. They're 6-12 against teams with winning records, 26-13 against teams that are under 500. And Bob, I was here for a long time in Milwaukee. A typical Brewer fan looks at that negatively. Whereas a lot of people could look at it positively and say, hey, you know, you take care of business against the teams you should beat, and that could be enough to win this National League Central.
It's the old glass half full,
That's
glass
right.
half empty. It just depends on your perspective.
Well, they haven't had a winning season since 1992. So you can tell why some fans up here are a little bit skeptical of their start. 14 consecutive non-winning campaigns. Ouch, that hurt. Craig Counsell has protection on that front leg. But I have yet to see armor that covers the entire front leg.
Well, we're probably not far away from that. That one hits above the armor, of course. I picture a day in this game where everybody wears full body suits, almost like a scuba diver with some kind of ultra thin protection, and you just slip it on in the dugout and zip it up and go up to the plate, run the bases.
Looked like one of those goalies in indoor lacrosse. Rolled to third, not hit very hard. They get the out at second. No, they don't. down to the mid of Mark DeRosa. Now, sometimes they will give the out and say that the ball got out on the exchange as the guy's trying to pull it out, but there's no argument for Mark DeRosa. He did not try to sell Randy Marsh on the fact that he was reaching for the ball. Let's check it out.
Yeah, usually you have to have that bare throwing hand in the glove when the ball comes loose in order to get that call from the umpire, and that time it looked like Dero never had control of the ball in the glove to begin with.
So another error. Well, the Cubs have not played consistently good defense the last week or so. Tonight it's been a mixed bag. You had the Ramirez play, a huge play in the second inning, but then the error on Marquis in the third inning, and now by DeRosa. Bush bounces the bunt. A slip by Marquis, and he just has time to get the out. Well, that's dangerous, and Marquis is going to go back and look at his divot. I'll tell you what, the thing you worry about there is that an Achilles gives out.
And that awkward throw back to first base. He'll watch his play. I mean, Jason Marquis is wide open facing first base. Normally you like to get that left shoulder closed toward your target. He ends up just throwing back across his body after the slip. Fortunately gets the ball on target to Derek Lee for the out. Well, that's the kind of play where you usually see the ball rolling down the right field line as runners sprint around the bases. Fortunately, the Cubs able to get an out there.
Jason has been in and out of trouble the entire night. Second and third, one out. Corner men in, they're back up the middle. Swing and a miss by Hart. It hasn't been a sellout on the bases, but it's been close. Seems like Milwaukee has perpetually had two men on the entire ball game. Ground ball backhanded by his tourist. Brewers will get a run. Throw the first. Left. It'll be a hit for Hart as he gets the RBI, and Milwaukee leads 2-1.
Nothing more as Torres can do right here. Gets to the ball, plants that right foot, strong throw across the infield. Corey Hart with just too much speed. Very close play at first. Just does get the foot on the bag before Derek Lee corrals that throw.
First and second. In the dirt ball, one on J.J. Hardy, and Michael wants to chat with his battery mate. Now, J.J. Hardy, Bob, with 14 home runs over his first 159 Major League games going into this year. And his career high in the minors was only 12. How do you explain that?
I asked Ned Yost about it before the ball game, and he said that he's just not missing mistakes. When a pitcher makes a mistake in the strike zone over the heart of the plate, he's not missing it. He's either hitting the ball out of the ballpark or off the wall, and usually those are stages you go through during the course of the season, but so far J.J. Hardy's been able to continue it from opening day right up until tonight. I hate to compare anybody with anybody else, but you think back to Ryne Sandberg's early career, was considered kind of a punch and Judy hitter, and was told to start swinging and driving the ball, and became one of the best home run hitters at his position in the history of the game. And perhaps J.J. Hardy is going to take that same kind of career path.
That's a good comparison. In 1982, his first year with the Cubs, Rhino hit 7 home runs in 635 at-bats. The next year, he hit 8 in a similar number of at-bats. Then 19, 26, eventually would hit 40 home runs in 1990. Dalton to center for Felix P.A. as the runners will have to hold right where they are.
And Rhino started driving the ball more on the suggestion of Jim Fry. Said, you know, you're a big, strong kid. You have a nice swing. You've got a real good grasp of the strike zone. You should be hitting for more power. So as as his career progressed, Rhino got better and better and better about picking pitches in certain counts, looking for a pitch from the middle of the plate in when he was ahead in the count, and if he got that pitch there, he rarely missed it.
Jason Marquis has allowed 10 base runners on the night. You think he made a bet with somebody?
Bill Lee look-alike contest here at the ballpark tonight.
If I don't shave for 5 years, I get free rent.
What year is it? Rip's been asleep for a while.
That was a guy Tom Hanks was playing in Castaway. Wilson! Wilson! First 0-2 count for Jason Marquis. Pitching matchups the rest of the series. Left-hander Ted Lilly tomorrow night against right-hander Claudio Vargas. And then Carlos Zambrano, who tries to put Friday's disaster in the rearview mirror. He'll go in at 5-5 against Jeff Suppan, who's 7-5. And then off to Atlanta for a 4-game series starting Thursday night. Well, it's hard to remember that was Carlos's 26th birthday on Friday. Still 2 strikes on Ryan Braun. At some point this year, Ned Yost is going to be asked about what Felipe Alou was grilled on for several years when he was a manager in San Francisco, and that is why not hit Prince Fielder third. Make sure he gets an at bat in the first inning. It's an interesting it's always an interesting debate. Should your best hitter and your best power guy hit third or fourth? Good play by Michael. 1-2.
Well, there's always been kind of a general guideline of who you like to see in that 3-hole. Generally, it's the best average hitter on the team, a guy that has some speed. But I don't know. You look at this lineup right now, and it remains to be seen how Ryan Braun will progress as his career moves forward. But I just know as a visiting team, I don't like to see Prince Fielder at the plate very often. I'd hit him 8th.
Well, lineup configuration can be a bit overrated at times. Don't tell a manager that, though, because I know they spend a lot of their day trying to figure out where all their position players are best suited. But I think you hit on something interesting. I guess I'd just try to get Prince Fielder as many at bats as I possibly can. Two and two.
Jason Marquis has not thrown a lot of breaking balls in this game, but he just doesn't seem to have a real good feel for that slider on the outside part of the plate. Michael Barrett's made a couple of real nice plays in a row to keep the ball from going to the backstop on sliders away.
It's already been a 7-pitch sequence. Number 8 will be on the way shortly. The pitch, swing and a miss. Off the plate, but he got him to go after it. Corey Hart with an infield RBI single has given Milwaukee their first lead of the night.
Again, I take full... I gotta run.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah,
he's thinking Arby's new toasted subs. Toasted to perfection and served hot. So delicious, they'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's. Visit Arby's.com for a chance to win a day with a real stuntman.
When the subject is trucks, you've got to know how to work it. Quad City Spring is all over that. When you need organizing systems for pickups and vans, and Adrian Steel custom setups are your mandatory upgrades, Quad City Spring gets the call. Ladder racks, toolboxes, towing, and truck accessories, we've got you covered. When the subject is trucks, Quad City Spring knows how you want to get it done. Got a truck? Work it, baby. Quad City Spring, 34th Street and River Drive, Moline.
So, you're a green person, but which shade? Confusing, isn't it? Well, True Value's Color Made Simple can help. With exclusive tools, trained professionals, and expert advice, finding your color will always be simple. Now let's talk purple. True Value's Color Made Simple.
Meeting the challenge since 1940.
Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox. Comcast Sportsnet. Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Midas. Visit Midas for brakes, expert auto maintenance, and tires. And by the all-new full-size 2007 Toyota Tundra.
Tuesday, June 12th is Country Music Night at Wrigley Field, sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Country music singer Kelly Pickler will appear at the game. Country music memorabilia will be given away throughout the game. And one lucky fan will win a trip for two to Nashville, compliments of the Grand Ole Opry and Southwest Airlines. Cubs and the Mariners at 7:05. Thanks again to Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the Chicago Cubs. Bob will have his cowboy boots on.
Yeehaw!
Ready to go. Swing and a miss. 2 strikes. Cubs find themselves trailing for the first time. They got a run in the first, but Milwaukee has scored in each of the last 2 innings.
Good emergency swing there by his tourist on a breaking ball that looked like it was headed for the outside corner, and strike 3. Just reached out there, fouled it off the third base side, forces Dave Bush to throw at least one more pitch in the sequence.
Two and 2 on Cesar. Marquis on deck. It has been a major grind for Jason on the mound tonight. Jenkins was playing in, perfectly positioned. And his tourist now 0 for his last 11. Time for tonight's poll question on Comcast Sportsnet. Do you think Lou Piniella's 4-game suspension was fair? Text A for yes. Text B for no. Thought it should have been fewer games, or C, should have been more. Text your answer to 65295. Marquis on the bunt attempt. And strike 1.
It's entirely possible that Earl Weaver might have missed complete seasons if you got 4 games every time you went out and put on an exhibition like Lou did the other day.
Bush with a throw, and Fielder with the catch, and that was almost very dangerous for Prince Fielder as Marquis was flying by. Fielder able to make the catch and then get his left arm out of harm's way.
Boy, that first base position, for so many years everybody thought that's where you send the fat old guys, that's where you send the catchers that can't catch anymore, or the outfielders that can't run anymore. And as we've seen not only this season but last season, that's a dangerous position to play if you don't know what you're doing over there. Saw one of the best defensive first basemen in the American League, Doug Mitkevich, boy, got his bell rung big time. Broken wrist, concussion on a play at first base. Got that runner going full speed down that baseline, and when that first baseman is lured into the baseline by a bad throw, all kinds of bad things can happen.
base hit into right. You mentioned Soriano should have success against Dave Bush, and he's 3 for 3. Busted bat that time. Keeps the inning alive.
And after his first 2 hits in the ball game, we didn't see Soriano on the move over there at first base. However, with 2 outs in the inning here, we may see Alfonso try to steal a base, put himself into scoring position for Felix PA. And ideally, he does it early in the count. First, second, maybe third pitch.
By the way, I should note that the original suspension, as determined by Major League Baseball, was going to be 5 games. They did reduce it to 4 after Lou chatted with John McHale Jr., the executive vice president for administration with Major League Baseball. Jim Hendry also supporting Lou today in their discussions. Well, Johnny Estrada took the worst of that foul ball.
I don't even want to watch. Occupational hazard.
All right, another action around the big leagues. We'll just move on.
Boy, and talking about Soriano attempting to steal second base, much like when Zambrano's on the mound for the Cubs, Dave Bush just doesn't give that base runner very much of an opportunity to get a jump. Very quick with his delivery to home plate. Now, Estrada's had his problems throwing out runners this year. He's only caught 4. 26 have stolen successfully. But you have to get a jump off the pitcher, and Dave Bush makes it extremely tough for base runners.
Double bouncer. J.J. Hardy gets the out. PA hustling, but he's thrown out by the shortstop. 2 out single, no runs. It's Milwaukee 2, Cubs 1, halfway home.
Hey, man. Hey. Give you a hand? Sure, yeah. Just take the, No. Hey, guys. Check this out. So you pop the top, little tap action, boom. Get the glass. A little something I like to call liquid gold.
Did you see what Mikey brought?
Yeah. I brought a sandwich.
Okay.
It's got Gouda. Smoked Gouda, actually.
Where's a fan's best friend online? ComcastSportsNet.com. It's the place to read analysis from Comcast Sportsnet experts that you can't find anywhere else. Get up to the second news headlines. See the day's programming lineup. Check out talent bios and watch video clips featuring the latest info on your teams. Plus, sign up for Sports Extra and Sports Blast email alerts that make you the first to know about breaking news. Log on right now to ComcastSportsNet.com. Fans' best friend online. Time now for a GMC Sports Update.
Mitch Robinson in our Comcast Sportsnet studio. We'll get you back out to the game in just a second. But first, let's check in on some other action tonight. The Marlins are at the Braves, top of the 5th, tied at 3, bases loaded. Miguel Cabrera sends one to straightaway center. It doesn't get out, but it's good enough to get another run, and it's now 6-3 Marlins in the 9th. That's going to do it from here. Now back to Len and Bob in Milwaukee. Guys?
All right, Mitch, thank you very much. Bottom of the 5th inning as we do the diagonal limbo up here in the booth. Jason Marquis tonight, I'll tell you what, he's only given up 2 runs through 4 innings, but it could be a lot worse.
You've heard the description of a pitcher laboring in a ball game, and Jason has done that so far. Now, the good news is he's only given up the 2 runs. It hasn't been easy, but we talk about it all the time. Good pitchers find a way to keep their team in a ball game even when they don't have their best stuff, and so far Jason has been able to do that.
Do I smell brats? 2-1. Are you going to go with the secret stadium sauce tonight?
Yes, I am.
I'm a mustard guy.
And I still refuse to read the ingredients in the secret stadium sauce.
Don't do it.
Look out.
When we talk about how hard Cliff Lloyd hits the ball, I think Prince Fielder is in that category. The Gary Sheffield, Cliff Floyd category. He tries to hit the ball through defenders, not through fans. That ball was crushed foul. 2-2 on the way. Another big hack. Just able to deflect it back to the screen.
Well, the thing about Prince Fielder, for such a big guy, he has a very compact swing. He can wait a long time on off-speed pitches and really uncoil, get that bat through the strike zone in a hurry.
Way up in the air and back near the dugout. We're told by Christine Charbonneau, our stage manager, that all he had left was one brat and one Italian. So you pick one, I'll eat the other.
Cased meat is cased meat. I'll take the Italian.
All right. And are you picking the Italian in the sausage race?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll go with the brat.
Who ate all the brats? There's only one left.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's only the 5th inning. What's going on back there? Another pop-up. Cesar's Torres with a catch. Well, the Cubs have been inconsistent tonight defensively. They have committed a couple of errors, but a couple of huge defensive plays for Jason Marquis. They get the 6-4-3 inning-ending double play with the bases loaded in the first inning. In the second, they get a 1-2-3. 2 for the price of 1. And then Aramis Ramirez to end that second inning with a great diving play. And strike on Johnny Estrada.
Yeah, that play by Ramirez saved at least 1 run, probably 2.
Did you get a chance to talk to Damian Miller today? I know he's been bothered by a bruised right wrist. He's been out for a while.
Yes, I did. He's starting to feel a lot better. He took batting practice today for the first time since the injury. He's been throwing. He still has a lot of swelling in that right wrist. He told me that this is not unusual for a catcher, but the foul tip caught him on an area where he had a broken bone earlier in his career. So some scar tissue in there that got inflamed, and no break this time, but a very bad bone bruise on that right wrist.
He's the backup to Johnny Estrada. He actually had his hand back behind his back, but the ball went between his legs and caught his wrist area. Swing and a miss by Estrada. Or strike 3, 4 in a row sent down by Jason Marquis. And I have a feeling we know what Cub fans are going to say in response to our Comcast Sportsnet poll question. A vast majority thinking that Lou Piniella's 4-game suspension was unfair. They thought he got too much. 5 games reduced to 4, so he'll be back Thursday against the Atlanta Braves. I'll state the obvious. Jason Marquis in dire need of a 1-2-3 inning.
Certainly wouldn't hurt anything.
The only other time he got the first 2 guys, the third hitter of the frame, Prince Fielder, hit a home run in the 3rd. Nothing in 2 on Jeff Jenkins. Best wishes go out to Patrick Ignacio, big Cub fan in attendance tonight here in Milwaukee. And a happy 3rd birthday to young Addison Clark. Got a nice email from the Clark family. They live in Decatur, Illinois. Here's pitch number 100 from Marquis. Jeff Jenkins is going to limp down to first base. It's been that kind of night for Marquis. He gets the first 2 of the inning. He's 0-2 on Jenkins, and then he hits him.
Yeah, once again, it came on that breaking ball. He has really struggled to command that slider. This time it dive bombs in. Looked like it caught Jeff Jenkins on the outside of that right ankle. Oh, man, once again, he's got that protective guard on the front of his right shin. That ball hit just below the guard. Oh, man. There's just not a lot of padding down there. That's all bone in that ankle area. Jenkins took a direct hit that time.
The lateral malleolus, according to our resident medical expert, our producer Bob Albrecht.
Dr. Albrecht, paging Dr. Albrecht.
Oh, I guess Gretchen in our production truck is studying that very thing, so we appreciate her help. Can't say I've ever heard of that, but I know it hurt Jeff Jenkins. Carlos Marmol has begun to throw out in the Cubs bullpen. So it's Bill Hall with a man on and 2 down.
You know, Len, as heartless as this may sound, I think the first thing the Cubs should do is attempt to pick off over there at first base on Jenkins, just to see if he can push off that right ankle to get back to the bag in time.
Chatting with Ed Cedar, their first base coach. Ed's from Illinois. Hails from Waukegan. He was Jeff Jenkins' rookie ball manager. Now the first base coach of the Brewers. Jones on the scene. That's out number 3. We've completed 5. Cubs trail Milwaukee 2-1.
We're home soon.
Who's counting on your brakes today? Your brakes are too important to trust to just anyone. So come to Midas, where lifetime guaranteed brake pads or shoes are just $89.95 per axle installed. For brakes, oil changes, tires, and more. Be safe.
Just the Midas touch.
Let the Cubs pamper you in style while you watch the game from the comfort of the Wrigley Field Mezzanine Suites, presented by Nuveen Investments. It's the perfect place for your next corporate or social outing. Call 773-404-CUBS or visit Cubs.com. See you at beautiful Wrigley Field.
Try Arby's new popcorn chicken. Popcorn chicken so big and juicy, others don't compare. Made with 100% natural all-white meat chicken. So delicious, it'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Think we'll make it? I don't want to get left behind. Gonna love my baby all the time.
It has everything you expect of a European luxury import. And protects the luxury of life like you only expect from a Volvo. Introducing the all-new Volvo S80.
Lease an all-new Volvo S80 3.2 for $439 a month for 24 months.
Tonight on the best damn sports show, period. Fantastic 4-star Jessica Alba as she upset she didn't win the Smokin' 16 trophy, plus Suns All-Star Mari Stoudemire and special guest host Eddie George. Tonight at 11 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Weeknights, don't miss Chicago Tribune Live on Comcast Sportsnet. Dan Jiggets, Tribune writers, sports stars, and celebrities discuss the day's hottest sports topics and set the table for the night ahead. Don't miss Chicago Tribune Live with Dan Jiggets, weeknights at 5:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Derek Lee swinging at the first pitch, but he just didn't get all of it. Caught by Corey Hart. Cubs are 1-0 with Rich Rupp as their bat boy. And of course, as we're trying to locate him in the visiting dugout, he has gone into hiding.
had a little fun with Rich working as the bat boy yesterday, and people at Stats Inc. and Elias right now are searching through their records. I believe Rich Rupp is the only undefeated bat boy in the major leagues at this point.
He's working hard. He must be a lefty with that ear flap. Two down. $35,760 as the Brewers have gone over 1 million in attendance. Well, they say build it and they will come, and I think the better line is win and they will come. I think the new ballpark thing lasts about 1 year in most places, maybe 2 years.
Well, building a ballpark is a good thing, and there's going to be the novelty of the new stadium, but it's equally important that you build a good team.
Very quick inning. That goes 3-1. 5 pitches to get 3 outs for Dave Bush in the 6th. Still 2-1.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Silverado half-ton crew cab, a standard stability control system, and the safety and security of OnStar. No other pickup delivers both. No wonder it's the 2007 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. The all-new Chevy Silverado.
Just announced. Get 0% APR financing or $1,500 total cash back on 2007 Silverado half-ton models. That's 0% APR financing for qualified buyers or $1,500 total cash back on 07 Silverado half-ton models.
When the Cubs game is over, stay tuned for Cubs postgame live on Comcast Sportsnet. All the interviews and press conferences, in-depth game highlights, and Dan Plisek breaks down all the action. Cubs postgame live after the game on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
When the subject is trucks, you gotta know how to work it. Quad City Spring is all over that. When you need organizing systems for pickups and vans, and Adrian Steel custom setups are your mandatory upgrades, Quad City Spring gets the call. Ladder racks, toolboxes, towing, and truck accessories, we've got you covered. When the subject is trucks, Quad City Spring knows how you want to get it done. Got a truck? Work it, baby. Quad City Spring, 34th Street and River Drive, Moline.
Build your new outdoor project with AC2 treated lumber from Menards. From decking to timbers, it all has a lifetime warranty and it's all on sale. Starting at $238 for an 8-foot 2x4. Decking starts at only 49 cents a linear foot. Finish the look of your deck, siding, wood fences, and more with Pittsburgh Ultra and Weatherscreen brand stain. Right now, save $5 on any gallon of Pittsburgh stain and save $25 on a 5-gallon fill. Helping you improve the quality of your home. Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox. Comcast Sportsnet.
Brewers 2, Cubs 1. Len and Bob and our Comcast Sportsnet crew from under the roof in Milwaukee. It is Roof Appreciation Night.
Indeed. Hey, you mentioned the sun kind of came out right about the time the ball game started, but I think with the amount of rain that fell here in the area today, we would have been delayed at best while the grounds crew tried to get the field ready.
Giants clubbed the Phillies 8-1. That's a final. It was Florida 6, Atlanta 4. That's also a final. Yunel Escobar hit his first major league home run. We saw him make his big league debut over the weekend at Wrigley. Dodgers held on and beat the Pirates 6-5. Derek Lowe had a no-hitter into the 7th inning in that game. Roger Clemens had his start pushed back, so out on the mound for the Yankees tonight. The White Sox lead the Yankees 6-1 going to the 9th. I guess I was seeing that Clemens is hoping to start on Saturday. He had the groin injury, so his 07 Yankee debut is pushed back. Well, if If you're wondering what broadcasters do between innings, you got about 90 seconds, and
oh, that's not fair. Not fair. Tick, 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 tick.
That's right. He's ready to work.
Play ball. Play ball.
That was like 2 bites, and you were done.
You have to eat fast.
Yes, you do. It was Matt DeSalvo on the mound, as I try to change the subject. Trying to take care of you, BB.
Thank you.
For the Yankees tonight. Looks like Marmol's ready if needed. He only went an inning and a third in that ball game on the south side. Or rather, yeah, that was on the south side tonight. So here's Dave Bush after the leadoff walk to Counsell. DeSalvo gave up 3 runs, 2 were earned on 4 hits. It's been all White Sox. There's the bunt. Derek Lee will fire to DeRosa, so Dave Bush has laid down 2 sacrifices tonight. Their leadoff man. Marquis has an opportunity for a quality start tonight if he can get through the 6th inning. And in some ways, even when you don't have your best stuff, you give up base runners. Sometimes your best starts can be on nights like this because you find ways to get through it.
And make big pitches when you need to make those pitches. And he's had a lot of opportunities to do that tonight.
And this is the inning, Bob, where he really has to reach back, because you talked about kind of where the lineup runs for the Brewers. This is probably the last time Jason is going to see the top of this order. So if he can get out of this inning, you feel very good about the way he battled tonight. Pulled a slider, and it's 2-1. And again, Milwaukee, and you've seen some examples of it tonight, they have had trouble manufacturing runs. Second in the league in home runs, but right now only 6th overall in runs. Base hit to left. Counsell had to hold up as that ball got past a couple of infielders who were in the vicinity. So first and third with 1 out. It's J.J. Hardy.
And the Brewers do have some speed in their lineup and on their roster, but because of their ability to hit those home runs, they hesitate to run into outs on the bases. I think they do have guys that are capable of stealing bases and playing hit and run, but they also have those guys capable of hitting the ball in the seats.
So Alan Trammell, the acting manager, comes out, takes a baseball from Marquis. It'll be Carlos Marmol coming on to face J.J. Hardy when we come back.
Here's what consumers are saying about the Ford Fusion on Yahoo Autos, an independent research site.
Love it, love it, love it. I have plenty of headroom. Both teenagers can fit in the back seat. Nice sounding stereo, along with an auxiliary adapter for my MP3. I'd buy this car again and again.
Yahoo Autos users gave the Ford Fusion a higher overall rating than the top 2 imports in its class. Take the Ford Challenge. See why Fusion is the better choice. Visit your Ford dealer or go to FordChallenge.com.
It's all about freedom to see clearly, to be at the top of your sport, the top of your profession, at the top of the world. It's freedom, brought to you by Kraft Laser Vision Correction. No one can match the Kraft Eye Institute in laser vision experience or results. Why trust your eyes to anyone else? The Kraft Eye Institute. It's freedom to see, to do, to be your best. Call Kraft today and see how far freedom can take you.
It's designed to outperform your expectations, your sense of speed, your idea of luxury, and last of all, designed to outperform all your other choices. Presenting the Edmunds.com editor's most wanted sedan for under $45,000. The M. From Infiniti. Now lease an Infiniti M for $419 a month.
Hey fans, sign up for a subscription to Vineline, the official monthly magazine of the Chicago Cubs. Vineline offers exclusive player features, team analysis, Wrigley Field news, and Cubs minor league coverage. Subscriptions start at just $24.95. Call 1-800-248-9467 or visit Cubs.com to order Vineline today.
Into the bullpen, Carlos Marmol. Inning and a third, he retired all 4 in the ballgame yesterday. Comes in with runners at the corners facing J.J. Hardy. Swing and a miss. Good slider from Carlos. Well, it's been a mixed bag for the Cubs bullpen all year. We're going to need some stellar work here for the rest of the night. Now Will Oman is throwing out in the bullpen. Another good slider. 2 strikes.
And you would assume Will Oman is getting ready in the event the Cubs get down to Prince Fielder's spot.
Runner goes from first. And I think that was a foul ball as it got a part of Sam Holbrook. J.J. Hardy stays alive. Hart was moving with the pitch.
Another hard slider this time. Ooh, good Sam Holbrook on that bare right arm. Not wanting to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but Prince Fielder against Will Oman, 1 for 6 lifetime. The one hit was a home run.
Another 0-2. Hart is not running. It's high. A fastball that time at 93 from Marmol. I know the Cubs need to score some runs here if they're going to win because they trail by 1, but the key to the rest of the night may in fact be the bullpen. Got to hold him down. Fake to third, and Hart gets back to first.
Well, the Brewers seemingly would be missing a piece in their bullpen tonight. We talked about it before the ballgame. Derek Turnbow, who's been a Cub killer throughout his career, has pitched in 6 of the last 8 ball games and warmed up in all 8 of those games. So you would have to believe that he is unavailable or limited at best tonight.
Here's the LoJack caught stealing report. Corey Hart, 7 for 7. Visit Cubs.com/LoJack to enter to win a 2008 spring training trip and other exciting prizes. LoJack, the only stolen vehicle recovery system operated by the police. Close play at first, and Hart got back in time.
I mentioned the speed that the Brewers do have in their lineup, and Corey Hart over there at first base is one of the guys who's more than capable of stealing a base. But as I mentioned, with J.J. Hardy and Prince Fielder swinging the hot power bats in the early going this season, Ned Yost has just chosen not to run as much as you might expect.
Counsell the runner at third. Hart is at first. Hart fake towards second. Ball 2, 2-2. Hart running, hit in the air, and now Hart will have to retreat. Soriano calling off his tourists. Counsell dancing off third base. He'll have to stop And Marmol with a big second out and a chance to get out of it as he faces Ryan Braun. And as you mentioned, this will probably be the last chance for Marmol in this inning. If he does not get Braun, Alan Trammell almost 100% will go with Will Ullman against Prince Fielder. Tomorrow night starter Ted Lilly, along with Jason Marquis and Mark O'Neill, the trainer. Yeah, Braun is a good name in this lineup. They've got a lot of it. Hard running, swing and a miss. No throw by Barrett. Hard now, 8 out of 8.
Normally you think about, well, if first base is open, I'm going to pitch this guy carefully, but in the early going, Braun has struck out almost a third of his at-bats. As good as he's been and as hard as he's hit the ball, he has swung and missed quite a bit, so this is the guy you want to go after right here. And if you can retire Ryan Braun, you have Prince Fielder right where you want him, leading off an inning.
Almost 6'2", 180 pounds. 24-year-old right-hander. Swing and a miss. He's pumped up. He comes in with runners at first and third and 1 out, and he gets out of it. Still 2-1 as the offense goes back to work.
Tonight, do the mojito with the refreshingly cool taste of the Bacardi Mojito.
AMCI's best-in-class certification for acceleration isn't handed out to just anyone. You've got to earn it. Get 0% APR financing on the all-new full-size Toyota Tundra, the truck that's changing it all. Now, at your Toyota dealer.
Watch all the action like you never have before from the comfort of the Batter's Eye Lounge in center field, offering a spectacular view and catered service for groups of 75 to 100. For more information, including non-game day opportunities, call 773-404-CUBS or visit Cubs.com.
The K&G 2 Suits for $150 event is on. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 2 selected men's suits for just $150. That's less than the price of one at a department store. K&G Fashion Superstore.
Hi, I'm Dan Jiggets. Tuesday on Chicago Tribune Live, we'll get you set for the Sox and the Yankees from the South Side, including live interviews, plus news from Milwaukee as the Cubs clash with the Brewers. All that and more gets underway Tuesday at 5:30.
Thursday, the Cubs are on Comcast Sportsnet. The Northsiders road trip continues with a stop in Hotlanta for a slugfest with the Braves, followed by Cubs postgame live. Cubs Braves Thursday at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
We're in the 7th inning now. Michael Barrett 0 for 2 as he faces Dave Bush. Jason Marquis is out of the game. 1 ball, no strikes. Cubs led 1-0 early on, but the Brewers tied it in the 3rd, took the lead in the 4th. Bush coming off a solid outing, 7 innings, 1 run allowed against Atlanta. His last time out, that followed 2 bad outings. He gave up 12 runs in 12 1/3. Keep in mind the Brewers bullpen has blown a save in 3 of his starts this year. can tell you one thing. You don't want to go to the ninth down against Francisco Cordero. The Brewers have not lost a game when leading after 8. Cordero 21 out of 21. A 1-2 pitch. Cute foul and right through the legs of Matt Sinatra. Come on, Matty. Oh, he's going to hear it in the dugout.
Oh, yeah. He thought he heard somebody call him off, so he let it go. That's what it was.
That's right.
Some fan was behind him going, ha!
Normally a very sure-handed first base coach, Matt Sinatra. And the life of the party. I mean, you talk about a guy who loves being at the ballpark. Really, anywhere he goes, Matt Sinatra has a lot of fun.
As you know, Len, I go into the coach's room every day at Wrigley Field, and they very graciously allow me to take a peek at the advance reports and some of the other scouting materials they have up there. And every day I see Matt Sinatra, it's like I haven't seen him for 5 years, you know. Hey, Bobby, how you doing? He is the life of the party in that coach's room. Good battle here by Michael Barrett. They get a great battle. Get on base somehow.
Pitch number 9 of the at-bat. Bush has been efficient. He hasn't even hit 90 on the pitch count tonight. And Michaels worked the count full. 3-2.
He hasn't hit 90 on the pitch count and not on the radar gun either. I mean, it's just a perfect example. You don't have to be an overpowering pitcher to have success at the major league level if you can command the pitches you have.
And he walked him. First walk he's given up all night. That's why he has been efficient with that pitch count. He hasn't worked a lot of deep counts. Well, we'll see what Alan Trammell has up his sleeve with his team down a run here in the 7th inning. I was going to ask you about it earlier, Bob. Alan Trammell has managed before in the big leagues. But how does he view this? I mean, he has to view it as I'm the manager because, you know, we saw Lou. He's upstairs. It's not like there's any radio communication. Alan is not managing this game as if he were Lou Piniella. Runner goes. Boy, almost hit DeRosa up in the head area, and Michael with his first stolen base of the year.
It looked like it was supposed to be a hit and run, but Mark DeRosa decided that I'm not going to swing at that ball headed for my face. Just hits the dirt, and Johnny Estrada has to come out of his crouch and reach all the way across his body. By the time he gets his arm back into a throwing position, Michael Barrett's almost all the way to second base, so he just decides to hang on. I'm pretty sure that was a broken hit and run. Michael Barrett's not going to straight steal too many bases.
So a runner at second and a 1-0 pitch on the way. Ooh, off the hockey mask of Johnny Estrada.
He's had a rough night back there already. Get one more look at this foul ball that catches him on the side of that goalie mask. And we talked about Damian Miller, the backup catcher with the sore right wrist. He is available to play tonight. I'm sure Ned Yost would like to stay away from Damian Miller for another day or two. And I asked Ned about that. Who's your emergency catcher? If something did happen to Estrada and you didn't feel comfortable using Miller, who would you go to? And he said Tony Graffinino, utility infielder.
I'm sure they're still doing studies on the hockey style mask and whether or not it's as good at protecting catchers from foul balls like that one as the old style masks. Tying run at second base. 3 shots to get him in. Popped up by DeRosa. And it's back behind the Brewer dugout. So to finish my question, obviously Lou and Alan talk a lot about strategy and certain things. Does Allen look at certain situations tonight, like what would Lou do here, or do you not look at it that way?
I would assume that a lot of it was probably talked about before the ball game. Okay, if we have a lead after the 6th and I need to go to the bullpen, who do you want to see in that situation? Now, of course, a lot of it depends on who the opposing hitter is. But I'm sure they tried to cover as many bases as possible, eliminate a lot of the questions as the game progresses. But as Lou told us earlier this year, he's a guy that likes to live by the stat sheet. You know, as much as you think Lou Piniella is a gut manager.
Base hit. Barrett stopping at third. First and third. And Mike Quade wanted him right on the bag as that throw came back near third base. Great opportunity for the Cubs. First and third, no outs.
Just to quickly finish that, Lou told us that if it comes down to a question of a gut move or a statistical move, he's going to go with the stats every time. So I'm sure that makes a lot of the decisions easy in that third base dugout. Some of the Cub fans here showing a little displeasure with Mike Quade's decision to hold Michael Barrett at third base. Barrett had to hold up initially just a little bit. That ball looked like it might carry all the way out to Jeff Jenkins, and no chance for Quade to send him on home, especially with no outs in the inning. You got the number 8 hitter at the plate and the pitcher spot due up next, which I'm sure we'll see a pinch hitter, so you do not want to risk getting a guy thrown out.
Cliff Floyd was in the on-deck circle. He has gone back into the dugout.
Now, this is one of those little moves a manager makes that it kind of gets lost in the shuffle. It doesn't really mean a whole lot, but why not send Carlos Marmol out there with a helmet on? Ned Yost will look over. He's not sure who the next hitter is going to be. He knows it's the pitcher spot, but is it going to be Cliff Floyd? Is it going to be somebody else? But indeed, it's Cliff Floyd coming out into the on-deck circle.
Is Torres ties the game. DeRosa on his way to third. Cesar is Torres snapping an 0 for 11 with a huge hit. Back to even at 2 apiece.
Whether it's Lou or Alan Trammell or any other manager in the big leagues, they love that first to third situation. Get on the merry-go-round. Base hit, the runner at first base goes from first to third. The next batter gets a base hit, you go first to third. Get on that merry-go-round.
That'll mark the end of Dave Bush's performance. Pitching change time. Cliff Floyd announced as the pinch batter. Cubs with a great chance now to take the lead. We'll be back.
Todd, you were on fire. Have you been eating more fiber?
Nah, but I did get a healthy deal at the Kia Spring Sales event.
The Kia Spring Sales event. Get an amazing deal on the Kia Spectra, a sporty sedan with 35 miles per gallon, a 5-star frontal crash safety rating, and a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty program. All for under $13,500.
Wow.
Get $1,500 cash back at the Kia Spring Sales event. Offer ends soon.
Where should we sit? Right at first base. Wait, how about along the third baseline? Wow, this is great. Just like having season tickets.
Looking for great seats? Buy tickets from other fans. Have extra tickets? Sell them to other fans. Go to StubHub.com today for tickets to the hottest sports, concert, and theater events, even if they're sold out.
Peanuts.
Hey, there's still tickets right behind home plate.
Peanuts.
Let's go for it. StubHub. Your choice. Your ticket. Your experience.
StubHub.
Left-hander Brian Schaus is in the ballgame. He'll face Cliff Floyd. So lefty against lefty. First and third for the Cubs. A run in. They've tied it 2-2.
And we mentioned that when Dave Bush was on the mound against Atlanta in his last start last Wednesday, that the bullpen gave it up, and Brian Schaus was part of that bullpen that put gas in the water can that night. He gave up a 3-run double to a left-handed hitter, Brian McCann, in the 8th inning. Brewers wasted a 2-1 lead, ended up getting beat 9-3.
So here's Cliff. He had been bothered by a rib cage injury, but well enough to come off the bench tonight. Pinch hit. You have Mark DeRosa, the runner, at third. Cesar Turris is at first. Earlier in the inning, Michael Barrett with his first stolen base since May 7th, 2004, versus the Colorado Rockies, only his 10th career steal. And he scored the tying run. Great at bat to start the inning as he coaxed a walk out of Dave Bush. No swing, says Bob Davidson.
A really big momentum swing there. Carlos Marmol coming on to get the last 2 outs of that bottom half of the 6th inning. As you see, Floyd goes too far. The called strike. Or actually, it was called a ball. Excuse me. He did go too far, though. Don't tell anybody.
We won't. Just between us.
I was about to say, you know, Marmol with a couple of big outs there with runners at first and third to get out of that jam. Michael Barrett comes back and has a great at bat to start the inning. Draws the base on balls and the unlikely stolen base, and hopefully that's paved the way for a big inning here for the Cubs.
Cliff looking for something that he can park in the third deck in right field. The 2-0. Ground ball base hit. That'll work. Cubs lead. DeRosa's in. First and second. 3 consecutive hits. And it's now 3-2.
For Cliff Floyd, his second pinch hit of the season. Kind of a slashing inside out swing. Finds that hole on the left side of the infield. And Ned Yost is going to have to dig a little deeper into that bullpen.
Cliff Floyd kind of filling the Darrell Ward role with D. Ward now on the disabled list. That's it for Schaus. Inning still very much alive. Nobody out, 2 on, and the Cubs lead 3-2.
When you search for a car at Autotrader.com, we send more cars your way than anyone. A lot more cars. So you can narrow it down by model, the color, even the price. And when you search from the largest selection,
that's the one.
You get the car you want at the price you want. No one has more cars in Chicagoland. Autotrader.com, the ultimate automotive marketplace.
This is the plane that was made by Boeing, who partnered with Dell, who was relentless in making them more efficient. By managing 150,000 global IT seats in a smarter way. So Boeing got a solution based on one agenda, their own. Because Dell designed solutions with one company in mind. Yours. Dell.
Hey, man. Hey. Give you a hand? Sure, yeah. Just take the, No. Hey, guys. Check this out. So you pop the top, little tap action, boom, get the glass. A little something I like to call liquid gold.
Did you see what Mikey brought?
Yeah, I brought a sandwich.
Okay.
It's got Gouda. Smoked Gouda, actually.
Get Chicago Sports News Nightly on Land Rover Sports Night. Coming up tonight after Cubs post-game live, reaction to the suspensions of Tank Johnson and Sweet Lou. Join Mark and Pat for Land Rover Sports Night tonight after Cubs post-game live, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Expect a lot of change-ups from Matt Wise. Against right-handers, 48% changeups, 48% fastballs, and just a handful of sliders. But against lefties, almost 69% of the time he'll throw his changeup.
And certainly the Cubs are aware of that. Gerald Perry has access to the same numbers we do. Well, the problem is Matt Weiss has a real good changeup. He sells it well, real good arm speed. And you can even go to the plate looking for a changeup and still be fooled by the pitch.
Another 3-hit night already for Soriano. Deep to left field for Soriano. 3-run shot. 6-2. We're starting to see the real Alfonso Soriano. He is now homered in 3 consecutive games. That's a huge one. They love it on the bench. And the Cub fans here certainly being heard in the 7th inning. Wow.
Down low once again. That ball was probably below knee level when it got into the hitting zone. Soriano loves that low pitch.
PA hits a ground ball. It's fair, and Felix didn't run. That's a mistake by PA. He thought that ball was going to go foul, and it stayed fair. Felix just did not leave the box. Maybe he thought that ball hit his foot or was waiting for the umpire to make the call. It was not the call. It was fair. Doesn't matter where a fielder fields it. It's where it goes past first base.
And fielder even turned around to look behind him to the first base umpire before throwing on to Wise for the out.
That was a changeup, swing and a miss. Soriano in these close and late situations hitting over 400 this year. Well, it's still late, not as close as it was when he came to the plate. 4 for 4, 3-run homer, 2 runs scored. Close the book on Dave Bush. Gave up 4 runs on 7 hits and 6+. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Schaus also charged with a run. And Derek Lee chased, strike 3. Runs here in the 7th inning. So the Cubs continue to score a lot of their runs late.
You called it earlier, Len. You said you just had the feeling this ball game was going to come down to a battle of the bullpens. So far, Carlos Marmol, the only pitcher out of the Cubs bullpen, he did his job superbly. Brewers have struggled.
They have now tallied 44 runs in the 7th inning. That's the most they've scored in any inning this year. A 1-1 to Ramirez. Bouncer foul. Let's see Mike Quaddy. Nice play in the bare hand. Of course, that ball was going about 1 mile per hour when it got to him. But the former shortstop able to make the play with no problem. That evens it up 2-2. And while the home run, the biggest swing of the inning, you really go back to the first plate appearance of the inning. That was Michael Barrett. He had a nice deep count. Got the leadoff walk, then stole second base. DeRosa, Izturis, Floyd, followed with back-to-back-to-back singles. And then the big blast by Soriano.
And the walk by Michael Barrett came against the Brewers starter Dave Bush, and we talked about him before the ball game. In 8 of his 11 starts this year, he walked either nobody.
Get an 07 Cobalt Sedan LS with an EPA estimated 32 mpg highway starting at $13,640 after cash back. That's an 07 Cobalt Sedan LS starting at $13,640 after cash back.
Every morning, start your day the right way with McDonald's Sports Rise. Wake up to the latest Chicago sports news and highlights. McDonald's Sports Rise, every morning on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Set, go! And they're off. Hey, this is a race from start to finish.
The sausage race tonight.
3 Italian. Right behind him in the big sombrero.
And the Italian got off to a great start.
Hot dog on the inside. He's number 4. Hey, watch out out there.
I voted for the chorizo, but the sombrero
could be hot dog to break
causing him a little bit of a problem.
And it is number 4.
A little bit of wind resistance.
Hot dog.
Yeah, that's not the most aerodynamic headgear for a sausage race.
So the hot dog, the winner, and Will Oman, the pitcher. Facing Prince Fielder. Cubs lead 6-2. DeRosa playing in the grass, shallow right.
They're playing Fielder to pull and very deep in the infield, but playing him a little bit the opposite way in the outfield.
Past Lee into right. Now Johnny Estrada, a little bad right-handed against the lefty Oman.
Estrada has been a better hitter from this side of the plate. He's a .281 hitter going into play tonight as a right-handed hitter, .264 as a lefty. He has 3 home runs from both sides of the plate. However, only 57 at bats as a right-hander, 121 as a lefty.
As much as the Cubs have struggled lately, and they just completed a 1-5 homestand, this is a huge series. Clearly the biggest of the year to this point. You're playing the team pacing the division at the moment, and I don't know if you can win the series, take 2 out of 3. The ideal goal would be take all 3. You can mitigate a lot of all the bad stuff that happened the last week or so. And Alan Trammell certainly understands that.
The reality of a long baseball season is even the best team in baseball, whoever ends up winning the World Series at the end of this year, they're going to have some stretches of the season where they don't play particularly good baseball. Whether it's a downfall of the bullpen or a lack of timely hitting or some shoddy defense, there's going to be stretches of the season where even the best teams struggle from time to time. And all that matters is what you do at the end and where you end up at the end of the season. You can forget a lot of bad things that happened early in the season.
Popped up in front of the plate by Estrada. And Barrett gave way at the last possible second to Derek Lee.
Tell you, Len, I don't know if I've ever seen a team that had so much trouble communicating on pop-ups. I mean, Michael Barrett does the right thing. He goes after it until somebody calls him off, but Derek Lee's just camped under that ball. That's as routine a play as it can be for a first baseman, but for whatever reason, this happens on almost every infield pop-up that's hit to the Cubs. There's got to be better communication.
Now, Kevin Minch was announced for Jeff Jenkins. And Alan Trammell will take out Will Oman, and he'll hand the ball eventually to Michael Wirtz. Runner on, 1 out, 6-2 Cubs.
Chevy. With 8 models that get an EPA estimated 30 miles per gallon highway or better. And we're so confident of our quality, every one is backed by something no one else has. The best coverage in America, including the GM 100,000-mile warranty. Get an 07 Cobalt Sedan LS with an EPA estimated 32 mpg highway starting at $13,640 after cash back. That's an 07 Cobalt Sedan LS starting at $13,640 after cash back.
How's this place? Time to do a little redecorating. No cover charge, free pool every Thursday night, and a good honest beer at a tasty price. This man got a good establishment going here. Hey, you are definitely supporting the high life, man, and these days, that's a good thing. Come on with me. Light the sign up. Wow. That's what I'm talking about. That's proof the world hasn't gone completely crazy. The high life is on.
Quiet on the set. Pick 73.
Hello out there in TV land.
Save your false laughter. Very popular. Whoa, get your foot off the fogger. Okay, here we go with another ho-ho.
There's only one, Bob Rohrman.
This year, when you can't be at home to watch the Cubs on TV, check out MLB.tv. You can watch every out-of-market game of the season live online, even when you're traveling. And this year, live radio broadcasts are included with a subscription to MLB.tv. For more details, visit Cubs.com, where baseball is always on. Jeff Jenkins, by the way, out of the game with a right ankle contusion. Remember, he was hit by a pitch in the 5th inning. So Kevin Mensch now batting for Jenkins.
Three for 12 as a pinch hitter for Ned Yost this season off the bench. Yeah, one possible result of this at bat, as always, could possibly be a base on balls. I'm betting against it.
Why is that?
One walk in 129 plate appearances, and that was an intentional walk.
That's amazing. So he's going to swing the bat. That's what you're telling me.
Well, I hope so. After I went to all that trouble to set that up, throw him something close to the strike zone. He'll swing at it.
Wirtz against Mensch. And a 1-0 offering. Well, it's 2-0. So he's halfway there to his first unintentional walk of the season. Good call, BB. 2 down. You know, Mensch, by the way, went into that at bat hitting .286 with his on-base percentage of .287. Now, sacrifice flies count against your on-base percentage. While it doesn't hurt your batting average, when you hit a sacrifice fly, as far as getting on base, that's considered an out. So it's possible to have an on-base percentage that's lower than your batting average. And one way to do it is to do what Kevin Mensch has done. So let's say he ends the year with 10 sacrifice flies and 2 walks and doesn't get hit by a pitch. He could theoretically finish the year with a better batting average than his on-base percentage. And I think the idea of that scoring decision is a sac bunt, you are trying to give yourself up, but a sac fly, there's no necessarily easy way to determine that you are trying to make an out. I mean, a sac fly, theoretically, you're trying to get on base, and you fail in doing that.
You know, and given Kevin Mensch's role with this Brewers ball club, I think Ned Yost would take those 10 sac flies.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care about Kevin Mensch's on-base percentage. He's a part-time player, a pinch hitter off the bench, and his job is to drive in runs.
I think he looked to find out if that's his hat, but all he had to do is put it on, and if it's not his hat, there's a guarantee it won't fit.
Well, you'll know right away.
We talked before about Kevin Minch and Bruce Bochy with the 2 biggest hat sizes in the big leagues.
Possibly in the world.
Where's a size 8? Would love to see Kevin Minch try on Juan Pierre's hat and have JP wear Minch's hat.
JP could go camping in Kevin Minch's hat.
2-2 to Hall is fouled away. Speaking of bullpens, the White Sox shaking up their bullpen today. They have optioned Mike McDougal and former Cub David Artsma to AAA Charlotte. Ryan Buckfitch and Brett Prinz called up to take their spots. White Sox did beat the Yankees 6-4. Yankees got 3 in the 9th. Came up short. John Garland got the win. Bobby Jenks with his 16th save. Ball went, and that's a strikeout. Michael Wirtz facing 2 in the inning and getting both. As the Brewers strand 1. They've left at least 1 on in every inning tonight, and the Cubs lead 6-2.
Shining is showing someone the way. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we want to help you live a healthy life. By providing wellness programs and initiatives, we keep you focused on staying well and living well. Because we believe sharing a commitment to a healthy way of living can inspire someone for life.
Lean on me.
Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, shining through.
Uncommon intelligence. Unexpected comforts. The Lexus ES. You'll take the feeling with you. And sometimes that feeling lasts a bit longer. The Lexus ES.
You know how when you're out of town and you leave your cell phone on at night, you know, just in case? At U.S. Cellular, we understand that feeling. It's why we're always performing network enhancements and independent testing, because we know every call is important, even if it's just someone calling to say goodnight for the second time. Hello?
Dad?
Hey, honey.
I forgot to say I love you.
I love you too, baby. U.S. Cellular is wireless, where you matter most.
U.S. Cellular connects with you.
Hey, fans, on Wednesday, June 13th, the Cubs battle the Seattle Mariners at 7:05. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive an Ernie Banks number 14 cap, compliments of Ballpark Franks. Oh, that's nice.
Kevin Minch stays in and plays left field with Matt Wise still on the mound. 6-2 Cubs. Boy, now you have to think back of the outing for Jason Marquis. Jason's going to get a no decision tonight. But we were both impressed with how he battled tonight, kept his team in it. That's Craig Counsell. And 1 out in the inning. Bullpen has been stellar tonight. Marmol, Oman, and Wirtz. And the offense really broke it open in the 7th. Started by Michael Barrett in the leadoff walk. Cubs looking for back-to-back wins for the first time since Those consecutive victories against the White Sox on May 18th and 19th. Since the 20th, they have gone 3-10.
Well, and you bring up a great point about Jason Marquis' outing tonight. I think we've all seen pitchers who go out there on a given night and don't have their best stuff, and you just don't see the same kind of competitiveness as we saw from Jason Marquis tonight. Certainly he realized very early on he didn't have his good stuff, but he found a way to keep his team in the game. I had teammates during my playing days who would go out to the mound on a night when they didn't have their best stuff, and they'd paw around in the dirt, and they kept looking in at the dugout, like waiting for the pitching coach to come out and get him out of a ball game. Not so with Jason Marquis. He wanted to do everything he could tonight to help this team win a ball game, and even though he won't get the decision, his ability to eat up 5 1/3 innings of this ball game and keep his team in the game was very important.
First hit of the night for Michael Barrett. And it's not obvious as far as like the biggest spot of the ball game, because there were a couple of big spots where he got double play balls, but I think you could claim that the biggest out he got was getting Jeff Jenkins to hit a ground ball to second base after the error. Yeah, Prince Fielder hit the 2-out home run to tie it up. Then that ball landed on the mound with Marquis and 4 other teammates surrounding the dirt. That inning really could have gotten away from him, but he quickly got the 3rd out and got out of it.
Yeah, that was one of those here we go again moments.
No doubt.
You know, if you allow the Brewers to continue to hit in that inning and push across a couple more runs, well, then that's going to be the main topic of conversation. The Cubs made another defensive mistake that cost them a ball game, but came right back and made a big pitch to Jeff Jenkins, got the easy ground ball to second base and out of the inning.
Michael Barrett, a big-time stolen base threat.
He was looking for the green light, looking over to Mike Quaddy, seeing if he had the green light.
0-2 heater is high.
Pretty good chance there's absolutely nothing on right here. Michael Barrett, his stolen base earlier in the ballgame notwithstanding, not much of a threat to steal. With 2 strikes on the hitter, you're not going to put on a hit and run or do anything creative like that. So Mike Quaddy just exercising out there, practicing for when he does get a chance to give signs.
If you just joined us, the Cubs without their manager Lou Piniella for this entire series had a 5-game suspension handed down. It was reduced to 4. He already sat out yesterday's 10-1 win. And he'll be back on the bench Thursday night at Turner Field in Atlanta. Cubs out hitting the opposition tonight 10-8. Ground ball. Braun to second, cancel the relay, and it's in time to get a double play. That ends the inning. They go around the horn. Bottom 8. Counsell due to lead it off. 6-2 Cubs.
Where's a fan's best friend online? ComcastSportsNet.com. It's the place to read analysis from Comcast Sportsnet experts that you can't find anywhere else. Get up to the second news headlines. See the day's programming lineup. Check out talent bios and watch video clips featuring the latest info on your teams. Plus, sign up for Sports Extra and Sports Blast email alerts that make you the first to know about breaking news. Log on right now to ComcastSportsNet.com. Fans' best friend online.
Now playing. A revolution in resolution. ESPN HD, the big picture in sports. Visually stunning and wildly enhanced clarity on the screen like you've never seen. Now playing.
Look at you. You're all aglow. You guys got me thinking.
Oh, you. This is going to be a very interesting night.
Get HBO on demand and Cinemax on demand. It's the best thing to happen to TV since HBO.
The Bulls, Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox. Comcast Sportsnet.
Time now for a Cadillac Sports Update.
Midge Robinson, our Comcast Sportsnet studio. We'll get you back out to the game in a second, but first, let's check in on some other action tonight on the South Side. White Sox get to the Yankees in the fourth. Jim Thome, 2-run homers, 480th of his career. Sox win it 6-4. That's going to do it from here. Now back to Lennon Baum. Take it away, boys.
Thank you, Mitch. 6-2 Cubs. They've scored 16 times the last 2 games. And Michael Wirtz back out there in the 8th inning, facing Craig Counsell. Get you up to date on the American League board. Mitch told you about the Sox, and Tampa Bay beat Kansas City 4-2 this afternoon. Twins and the Angels 1-1 in Anaheim, top of the 4th. Torrey Hunter with his 12th home run in that ball game. Angels with a 5.5 game lead on Seattle. Starting play tonight. Oakland 2, the Red Sox 1. David Ortiz with his 10th home run, top of the 3rd, out in Oakland. And Baltimore leading Seattle 4-2. Ichiro with his 5th as the Mariners are the hosts in that game. Bottom of the 2nd. Elevated by Counsell on the infield. And it lands in the glove of Mark DeRosa. Got a pinch hitter now for Milwaukee. Gabe Gross will hit for Matt Wise. I don't know how wise it is, but it's pretty gross.
Oh, my. Gabe's pinch hitting numbers have been gross this year. 2 for 12 off Ned Yost's bench. Best pinch hitter has been the youngster, Tony Gwynn Jr. He's done a great job as a pinch hitter, 6 for 17 with 4 RBI. We haven't seen him in this ball game yet tonight.
Well, it could be Wirtz.
Just going to have to grin and bear it.
We can keep going, but
please
I think we shouldn't. Please. It's been weeks and weeks and weeks since we wanted to do something like that.
To seek counsel.
Oh, Billy running our audio board has threatened to literally shut down our microphones. Oh. We're allowed to have a little fun. It was a rough weekend.
Yes, it was.
What can we say? Sorry, how puts the clamps on the out. That was nicely done. Hart. You're such a mensch.
Yeah, well.
Did you have a hearty meal tonight?
Uncle. Uncle.
Ryan Dempster up in the Cubs bullpen as Wirtz tries to go 1-2-3 here in the 8th. I think we've almost hit both 25-man rosters.
They're going to think we're 3 sheets to the wind.
What time is the soup on? Okay. All right. That's a
game went right in the Dempster.
There's Ben Sheets and Jeff Suppan. Ben Sheets pitching very well. He got the win yesterday. Half swing by Hart.
Ned Yost talking about the breaking ball from Ben Sheets. Boy, when he's got that yacker working, he can be one of the best in the game. And apparently he has got that big over-the-top curveball working to his advantage right now.
One-two pitch. Slider in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Marquis, Marmol, Ullman, and Wirtz. And I should note, one of those runs against Jason Marquis was unearned. Gave up 2 runs, 1 earned, and 5 in a third. 7 hits, 3 walks, 3 Ks, 1 home run. As a Cubs closer, currently with the team leading by 4. He would not come into a save situation. Rising fastball 3-2. It doesn't technically rise, but it kind of has that look here at the plate.
And that's a good pitch to set up a slider low and away. Change the eye level of the hitter and then go right back down on the edge of the strike zone.
Called strike 3. Hart frozen on the slide piece. Wirtz 5 up, 5 down. Nicely done. 6-2 Cubs to the ninth.
Hey, man. Hey. Give you a hand?
Sure, yeah. Just take the...
No. Hey, guys. Check this out. So you pop the top, little tap action, boom, get the glass. A little something I like to call liquid gold.
Did you see what Mikey brought?
Yeah, I brought a sandwich.
Okay.
It's got Gouda. Smoked Gouda, actually.
Experience a Cubs game at historic Wrigley Field. Individual tickets are available for upcoming games. Get your tickets now by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS, visiting the Wrigley Field box office, or by logging on to Cubs.com. See you at beautiful Wrigley Field.
Try Arby's new popcorn chicken. Popcorn chicken so big and juicy, others don't compare. Made with 100% natural all-white meat chicken. So delicious, it'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Todd, you were on fire. Have you been eating more fiber?
No. But I did get a healthy deal at the Kia Spring Sales Event.
The Kia Spring Sales Event. Get an amazing deal on the Kia Spectra, a sporty sedan with 35 miles per gallon, a 5-star frontal crash safety rating, and a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty program. All for under $13,500.
Wow.
Get $1,500 cash back at the Kia Spring Sales Event. Offer ends soon.
Chicago Tribune Live, weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
After the game, stick around for Cubs postgame live. Get highlights of all the action and analysis from Dan Plesac. Don't miss Cubs postgame live immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. New pitcher for Milwaukee is right-hander Chris Sperling.
17 1/3 innings pitched on the season for Chris Sperling. 24 base hits allowed. Opponent's hitting .320 overall. Doesn't walk a lot of guys. Doesn't miss a lot of bats.
And he'll face Cesar Izturis, who tied the ball game with an RBI single in the 7th, followed by the pinch hit, go-ahead RBI single by Cliff Floyd. And then it was capped by Alfonso Soriano's 3-run shot. First 4-hit game as a Cub for Soriano, but still 2 hits away from his career high of 6 back in 2004 against Detroit on May 8th. That's when he was with Texas. Soriano shoots it to left, but Jeff Jenkins, or rather Kevin Minch able to make the catch. So his Tourist lines out. I got them both wrong. I said Soriano and Jenkins. It was his Tourist to Minch. So here's Matt Merton batting. Outside. Ball one on Matt Merton. Had a little cramping in his upper back. Taken out of the lineup a couple of days ago. Pitch on the way. It's a strike. Bottom part of the strike zone.
Yeah, that's a good take anyway. Even though it's a 2-0 count, you're looking for something you can really drive hard. If you get that sinking fastball down low around the knees, all you're going to do is hit a ground ball to the infield anyway. So Merton takes it and hopes for a better pitch here.
A win tonight would improve the Cubs' record against Milwaukee to 4-3. They would also be 3-1 here. They would get to within a game of 500 on the road. And Merton draws a free pass. Well, the 4 for 4 for Alfonso Soriano. First 3 hits were singles. That was in the first inning. He later would score. In the third inning, he would end up being stranded at third base. A single with 2 outs in the 5th. And then the 3-run homer with a new bat after breaking one earlier.
That's a way to break in a new bat. Had a change up down low and away. Really got extended out there and hooked that ball back to left field. We've seen him do that so many times in the early going. Great plate coverage.
All-Star balloting update. They passed out an update today. So Alfonso Soriano a little bit behind Barry Bonds. So Cub fans out there, put in your votes for Alfonso Soriano. If he can finish in the top 3, he'll be among the starting outfield for the National League. Derek Lee 4th on the list at first base, and Aramis Ramirez is 4th among third basemen. Pujols, Fielder, Garcia Parra ahead of Derek Lee, and Wright, Cabrera, Chipper Jones above Ramirez in the balloting. And it'll be played by Counsell, but Soriano beat it out. A 5-for-5 performance. Third time in his career he's had a 5-hit performance. We mentioned the 6 against Detroit in 04. So make that 8 hits over his last 10 at-bats, his last 2 games.
Well, you can see where Counsell is playing almost up the middle of the field. He gets to that ball. J.J. Hardy was going after the ball as well. Nobody at second base to cover. By the time Counsell gets the ball across the infield, Soriano legs it out for an infield hit. Big night.
Yeah, huge night. You see how close Soriano is. Well, about 4,000 votes behind Barry Bonds. Visit Cubs.com. Put in your vote.
Do it the Chicago way. Vote early, vote often.
And then vote again.
And again and again.
Scott Air has joined Ryan Dempster in the bullpen. We'll see how long Lou Piniella sticks with Felix Piet batting second. He likes having a left-handed hitter, and you certainly don't mind the speed at all in that number 2 spot. And it really is going to come down to the numbers and how Felix does, how patient he can be. 2 for 5 in the ball game yesterday, 1 for 4 tonight. His outs have been ground ball outs. This one in the air, sending Braun over near the visiting dugout, and he makes a catch. 2 outs.
You get the feeling the hardest thing for the staff to impress upon Felix Piet is not to press. We've heard Jim Hendry say it. We've heard Lou Piniella say it. They want to give him a real opportunity to show what he can do. Doesn't need to put too much pressure on himself on a given night or a given at bat. I think they're just looking for consistency in approach at the plate. Take a lot of pitches, work a lot of counts, and as you said, try to keep the ball on the ground. Take advantage of that speed.
You know, one of the things I really like about the offensive night tonight is the Cubs haven't relied on Derek Lee. Ramirez with the RBI double in the first inning, but they're a combined 1 for 8. But you're getting a lot of contributions from Soriano, who now is going through his best stretch of the year. Bottom of the order really contributed in that big 7th.
That's the way you like to see it, you know. When everybody's clicking on all cylinders, you have a laugher like we saw yesterday at Wrigley Field. Everybody's hitting the ball well, team scoring a lot of runs, everybody's getting involved in the offense. But you know, the reality is there are certain pitchers that guys struggle against, and Derek Lee's going to have rough nights. Aramis is going to have rough nights. Alfonso Soriano is going to have rough nights. But somebody needs to pick up the slack. Everybody's not going to be hot every ball game, but if you can piece it together with a walk and take advantage of the opposition's error, take advantage of some pitchers' mistakes. Doesn't matter how you do it, just so you do it.
And the other thing is, as much as you would like to see consistency throughout a ball game, you can put together one huge inning. A lot of times that can determine the outcome of a game. The Cubs with a 5-run 7th, and that's really all they've needed to this point. The runners will get a head start on the next pitch. Hits for the Cubs. The Brewers have 8. Another payoff pitch. Base hit to left. Here comes Merton. Throw toward the plate. It's late, 7-2. RBI number 34 for Derek Lee, his first hit tonight.
Where the good players just keep grinding, regardless of score, regardless of inning. Don't give away an at-bat. Derek Lee really battled a couple of borderline pitches, went the way of Chris Sperling. Derek ran the count to full, drove that ball through the left side of the infield. Because the runners were on the move, Matt Merton scores easily. Ramirez hits a ground ball. J.J. Hardy with a flip.
to Counsell covering second. To end the inning, a run on 2 hits and a walk. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th from Miller Park. It's 7-2 Cubs.
It's designed to outperform your expectations, your sense of speed, your idea of luxury. And last of all, designed to outperform all your other choices. Presenting the Edmunds.com editor's most wanted sedan for under $45,000. The M. From Infiniti. Now lease an Infiniti M for $419 a month.
I am your idea. Color me. Get me noticed. Make me shout. And stand out. Give me Rico color that always works. I am your idea. Make me brighter. Make me shine. I am your idea. Get me in there. Make it happen. In flying colors. It's you and me, and here we go. With Rico.
Honey, I think he's trying to tell us something.
His first word.
Feldco.
Smart kid.
Call 866-4FEL-DCO.
Feldco windows are a part of family life. More than 100,000 satisfied customers prefer our top quality professional installers and great warranty. Call for a free estimate.
Financing available. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELDCO.
Now our Nissan drive of the game, no doubt about it, the Alfonso Soriano 3-run homer. Back in the 7th inning, adding a lot of insurance for the Cubs tonight. Trying to make a winner out of Carlos Marmol. Ryan Dempster in a non-save spot, looking to get the final 3 outs.
Ryan Dempster with a lot of early road work before the ball game today. I was sitting up here filling out my lineup card and saw the top of a Cubs cap go running by the press box, and it was Ryan Dempster. Had his headphones on, running up and down the stairs here at Miller Park, getting a little extra work in.
The scheduled batters Hardy, Braun, and Fielder for Milwaukee. Got an email from John and Joel Toomey, I believe, or Tomey, from Chicago, and they have decided to abstain from food in protest of Lou Piniella's 4-game suspension. I give you guys credit. Wow.
Better you than me.
Yeah. So apparently John and Joel will not be eating until Thursday.
Well, as a salute to John and Joel, I'll eat twice as much during the course of the suspension.
Well, I'm sure they really enjoyed the shots of you eating the Italian sausage between innings.
Well, once again, field position. We talked about it earlier in the ball game with J.J. Hardy and Prince Fielder. Not as much of a factor with a 5-run lead in the ball game as Hardy pops it up on the right side in foul territory. Derek Lee will make the play easily. Well, in this ball game, they've had J.J. Hardy to play with 1 out, nobody on. He's led off 2 innings in the game. Try to limit the damage. Get those guys out in front of the guys who can beat you with the long ball.
The producer of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is Bob Albrecht. Our director is Dave Turner. Our associate producer, Tamara Anderson. Our stage manager up in the booth, Christine Charbonneau. Chuck Jackson, our technical director. The executive producer of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is Jim Corno Jr. Great work by our entire crew here in Milwaukee. Topper back to the pitcher. 2 quick outs. Well, it's one of those nights where you don't have to look up at the scoreboard and find out what the first place team is doing. If the Cubs win, they'll be 6.5 out.
And hopefully another momentum builder. You know, a 10-1 ball game yesterday felt really good. A lot of guys got involved in the offense. But if you come back today and lay an egg, That 10-1 ball game means absolutely nothing. Cubs came back tonight, played a clean ball game. Got some big outs from Jason Marquis. A real yeoman's effort from Marquis tonight. Battling out there without his best stuff, keeping his team in the ball game. And a lot of offense, but mostly at the top with Alfonso Soriano.
0-2, and the Cub fans right now far outnumbering the Brewer fans who have headed for the exits. It's a sea of blue here at Miller Park. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball, shallow right center, and it's Jock Jones to make the catch. And the Cubs win a 7-pitch ninth inning for Ryan Dempster. Lou Piniella watching from upstairs. He likes it. Jim Hendry, Randy Bush, and Alan Trammell. Not officially 2-0 because those wins go on the record of Lou Piniella, but a couple of very nice performances by the Cubs the last 2 days. 2 blowouts, 10-1 over Atlanta yesterday, and tonight 7-2 here in Milwaukee.
You never really take that deep breath and relax until that last out of the ball game. Congratulations all around in the booth. A couple to our left. Nice ball game tonight.
So Carlos Marmol gets his first win of the year. Dave Bush drops to 3-6 with a loss. And a game that took 3 hours and 13 minutes to complete. In front of 35,760 as the Cubs beat the first place Brewers tonight. Now let's go to Luke Stuckmeyer on the field with Alfonso Soriano.
All right, thanks, guys. Alfonso, first of all, the 3-run homer, what kind of pitch did he throw you?
He threw change, a little low, but I make a very good swing, and that's very important win today.
5 hits tonight, first time since 2002. You've had 10 hits in the last 2 games and 3 homers. What started this hot streak for you?
You know, I start feel comfortable now with my teammates and the city in Chicago, so I think that's the key. So I start feeling comfortable now, you know, my swing back, and I feel very comfortable right now.
17 runs in the last 2 games. Is the team getting more comfortable as well?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's enough. You know, we play now 2 months together, so we start this month now, and I hope, you know, the team continue to play like we played yesterday and today too.
You know, it kind of seems like maybe Lou Piniella fired you guys up. You think Lou's little fit there maybe helped the team out?
I think that's the kid. You know, he got fired on Saturday, and we come back Sunday, and we make a lot of runs and come back today, and, you know, and play good. So I hope that, you know, that's the, you know, the team wake up and play like that.
All right, great game. Go get him again tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. They can make another move on the Brewers tomorrow. Len, we'll send it up to you. This guy's red hot.
He sure is, Luke. Thank you very much. I got one final stat for you, BB.
Okay.
The last 2 games, the Cubs, as Luke mentioned, scored 17 runs. They're 13 for 24 with runners in scoring position, so they've made their hits count big time.
Timely hitting, absolutely.
That'll do it for our game coverage. Stay tuned. Much more to come on Post Game Live. The final score tonight, the Cubs 7, the Brewers 2. Our next Cubs telecast here on Comcast Sportsnet. Thursday night, the return of Lou Piniella to the dugout. 6:30 for the airtime from Turner Field. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad. And now for Bob Brenly and our entire crew, this is Len Casper. You've been watching Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Good night.
Mark Shanowski with Pat Boyle in our downtown Chicago studio. Mitch Robinson and Dan Plesac are standing by to break down the win in Milwaukee next on Cubs Postgame Live, and Mitch is fired up.
Yes, as usual. Then stick around afterwards for Land Rover Sports Night. Coming up on that show, if someone in Chicago was suspended today, we have it for you, including 8th graders in the public schools. Tank Johnson receives his penalty from the NFL. We'll tell you how long and what he can do to get back on the field a little bit sooner.
Plus, John Garland pitched a great game at U.S. Cellular Field tonight. Question is, could the White Sox bullpen make it hold up? Highlights, post-game reaction coming up from the White Sox and Yankees.
And Lou Piniella discusses his suspension, plus Ozzie weighs in on Lou's dirt-kicking tirade. You won't want to miss that.
All that and much more coming up on Land Rover Sports Night. But coming up next, it's the Mitch Robinson Experience on Cubs Post-Game Live.
Latte Mitch, look out.
Zach Man riding shotgun. We'll take a quick time out.
Please, Zach doesn't think they're going to lose till August.
Tonight, do the mojito with the enemy of sharing. Pennzoil Platinum Full Synthetic with adaptive molecules that continually separate and reform to help conquer the forces that can tear oil molecules apart. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by LoJack, the only stolen vehicle recovery system operated by the police. Bacardi Rum. If you're going to drink, be responsible. And by Pontiac, 9 performance machines, all designed for action.
Night already for Soriano. Deep to left field for Soriano. 3-run shot.
6-2. 7-2 victory for the Cubs up north in Milwaukee. The Cubs lose to 24-31 on the year. Alfonso Soriano 5 for 5, his 7th homer, 3 RBI. Marmol gets the win in relief. Bush takes the loss after actually pitching 6 great innings and then started to run out of gas in the 7th. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Cubs Postgame Live alongside the ladies' man, Dan Plesac. I'm Mitch Robinson. He loves when I say that. I know what got Alfonso Soriano ticked off. Today, Ken Griffey Jr. overtook him in the All-Star voting. It would be the 13th time that Jr. makes the All-Star game by the fans' vote. Alfonso wants that vote.
He wants that vote. And I'll tell you what, this may have been, with the exception of one little blitz on the radar, miscommunication on a pop-up in the middle of diamond that Jason Marquis called for, a lot of positive things. And I think you caught a glimpse today of what this team can possibly do. Alfonso Soriano, terrific night, 5 for 5. Good relief pitching out of the bullpen. Marmol was very good coming in a tough spot. Will Ullman, Michael Wirtz, Ryan Dempster finished it off. Some good base running, some terrific defensive plays. A play early on in the game, Aramis Ramirez made at third base. About as nice a play as you'll see at third base, and make a lot of positive things. So I think the theme is, it's alive.
For the 3rd time in his career, Alfonso Soriano gets a 5-hit game. He has one 6-hit game to his credit. That big shot in the 7th, the 3-run shot that really started to give the Cubs some breathing room. Here's another important thing to talk about when we go to the Felco pitching matchups right after it, is that the bullpen went 3 2/3 of scoreless baseball for the Cubs. That's a huge factor. But as we look at our Felco pitching recap, we take a look at Jason Marquis, who struggled, lasted only 5 1/3, threw 112 pitches in that time, but gave up just 2 runs, only one of which was earned. Carlos Marmol came on in the 6th, inheriting 2 of Marquis' runners, and he shut the door on the Brewers. Dave Bush, 6 innings, allowed 4 earned, struck out 3. He got into trouble in the 7th. But talking about Marquis, here's a guy that didn't have his best stuff, would have men on base every inning, but managed to get out of big jams.
He was kind of walking a tightrope really from the beginning of the game. A lot of deep counts, found himself, was able to induce a couple of inning-ending double plays. Here he makes Johnny Estrada hits into an inning-ending double play. It happened a couple of times. And I'll tell you one thing he was able to do is he was able to pitch out of trouble. He was a little bit inconsistent as far as in the strike zone. Really didn't have any one of his particular pitches working that he could go to. Here it turns a nice 1-2-3 double play, something you don't see very often. But the Cubs played very sound defensively with one little glitch, a pop-up in the middle of the diamond that was dropped in that Jason Marquis called for. Aramis Ramirez made a tremendous play. They played a good winning baseball game tonight.
You talk about Jason Marquis, lifetime, a 4-6 pitcher, record against the Milwaukee Brewers. Doesn't get a decision tonight. I'm sure he'll be happy to take that. Kept the Cubs in it so they can go on to do what they did in the 7th. And let's go to the highlights of that 7th inning. It was a fine inning for Bush. Was doing great until they got up to the 7th, and then he started to run out of gas. 2-1 game, and that's that's when the floodgates began to open.
Stopping at third.
You have Barrett on third. You get a couple men on base. And from there, the bats just seem to feed off each other.
You know, one of the things Cesar is towards a big first and third, nobody out situation, base hit. And then Cliff Floyd comes up, pinch hitting after that. And one of the things when Cliff Floyd is swinging the bat well, he hits left-handed pitching very well against a tough left-hander, gets a ball through the left side of the diamond. And right now, the Cubs are really in business. But I tell you what, you go back to the start of this inning, and one of the keys was Michael Barrett had a terrific at-bat, about a 9-pitch at-bat, and was able to induce a walk. And really, that was the beginning that started this whole inning.
So that's Alfonso Soriano's 3-run shot that put it out of reach, and the Cubs go on to victory 7-2. As we go to break, let's check out our Pontiac opinion poll. Who do you think will lead the Cubs in wins this season? Ted Lilly, Rich Hill, Carlos Zambrano, Jason Marquis, or Sean Marshall? Go to ComcastSportsNet.com, click on Chicago, then click on the Cubs page and vote. We've got the results coming up. Stay with us.
This June, Comcast Sportsnet kicks off the summer with red-hot baseball action. The Cubs renew their rivalry with the surprising Brewers and roll into Texas for a showdown with Sammy Sosa and the Rangers. The White Sox host A-Rod and the Yankees and head to Philadelphia for an interleague battle with some old friends. And it's round 2 of the Crosstown Classic as the Cubs and Sox square off on the south side. It all plays this June on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Chicagoans love their pizza. That's why you come to Giordano's, some for 30 years now. We use only the finest ingredients to make Giordano's famous stuffed pizza, our equally famous thin crust pizza, plus salads, pastas, sandwiches, and more. Come on into Giordano's and celebrate 30 great years with us. Giordano's famous stuffed pizza. We made it good, you made it famous.
Every night, there's just one place to be. The best damn sports show, period. Come on in and be our guest for Sports Television's nightly party. The world's greatest late-night sports show is just getting started. The best damn sports show, period. Weeknights on Comcast Sportsnet.
Quality paint for low prices. Menards. It's the final week to save $7 a gallon on all interior or exterior Dutch Boy paints like DuraClean, DuraWeather, or Dimensions. All Gel-Wen windows and patio doors are 10% off. Choose from wood and vinyl in thousands of made-to-order sizes and styles. Many feature low-E insulated glass, are Energy Star rated and eligible for an energy tax credit. Plus, there's 0 payments and no interest till spring with your big card.
Save big money at Menards.
June 12th is Thrivent Financial Night at the Swing of the Quad Cities. Come out for bucket rides from the Davenport Fire Department, carnival games, fireworks, a performance by the Quad Cities Skydive Team, and much more. All ticket sales will benefit Special Olympics. Get your tickets by calling or stopping by Thrivent. Come on out for Swing Baseball on June 12th.
Swing for the Quad Cities.
Come on out for big league fun.
I remember when Mom had to wait until after my bedtime to call Grandma.
That was then. Now there's Mediacom Phone with unlimited long-distance calling in the U.S. and Canada.
Now we can call Grandma during the day.
And it includes great features like voicemail and caller ID.
Call 1-800-CABLE-TV and get Mediacom phone service for as low as $29.95 a month.
Call 1-800-CABLE-TV. Do you know my grandma's phone's attached to the wall with wires?
0-2. You've seen numbers like that, haven't you, Dan?
Oh, I've pitched the whole year with numbers like that.
47.25. It's basically you're not getting anybody out. Welcome back. The Cubs win 7-2. Let's look right at the lineups. And the only guy to have a multi-hit game for the Cubs was Alfonso Soriano, 5 for 5 with a homer and 3 RBIs. Everyone else, you came through ones. Jock Jones almost hit one out, got robbed at the wall. So it's almost, we'll give him a half. But only Soriano to come around.
But I think one of the keys in that big inning for the Cubs, they were able to get some big hits as Torres, Cliff Floyd. Those were two really big hits. And one of the things this offense has been missing is getting that big hit in the back third of the game in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning. They were able to do that. And I think more so on a positive note, the bullpen. This team is not going to make a run unless this bullpen gets better, and it has to get a lot better real soon.
Looking at the Brewers lineup, well, the big guy that hits homers did it again. Prince Fielder now tied with A-Rod for most home runs in baseball at 20. The guy can hit. He's also batting .300. He was 2 for 4 with an RBI. Corey Hart, he wore his sunglasses. They got a couple hits. Bill Hall, a couple. And but you look at the guys like J.J. Hardy, 1 for 5 left, 4 men on base. That's a guy who's fed off pitching this year, and they were able to shut him down.
You know, really, this Milwaukee Brewer team is really built offensively around hitting the long ball. J.J. Hardy and Prince Fielder. And if you can contain those two, which the Cubs were able to do tonight, you've got a pretty good chance. They're pretty much a swing and miss team, a power type team. If you can keep those two guys from doing some damage, you've got a chance to beat the Brewers.
As we go to break, let's take a look at the StubHub upcoming schedule for the Cubs. Stay with us.
The upcoming schedule is brought to you by StubHub, where fans buy and sell tickets.
Wake up to rivalry and wake up to McDonald's. Get any 2 biscuit sandwiches for just $3.
The summer's hottest matchups, the game's biggest stars, play on Comcast Sportsnet. Tomorrow and Wednesday, the Southside will be rocking for another Chicago-New York collision. Jermaine Dye and the White Sox Big Bats are primed to set off fireworks. But Derek Jeter and the Yankees are out to prove the Empire isn't crumbling yet. White Sox, Yankees, tomorrow and Wednesday in high definition, only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. They're the teams you live for, the players you cheer for, and the events that make you stop everything. Whatever side you're on, whatever captures your interest most, there's one common bond that unites us all. We all share a passion for Chicago sports. That's why fans like you need a television home devoted solely to you. The games, the news, the analysis, and everything else you desire. It's all right here on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Sit, watch.
Get a suit that fits. Men's Warehouse has a wide selection of great-looking suits to fit you and your budget, starting at only $200. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
If you're thinking about a new garage, this could be the time. Now you can own a Danley, the world's finest quality garage, and get a garage door opener free with 2 remote controls. Just call 773-GARAGES right now. Call 773-GARAGES right now and get a free garage door opener and 2 remote controls with the Danley garage of your choice. But don't wait too long.
Danley's Garage World, Danley.
Depend on Danley.
Wake up!
Wake up to rivalry and wake up to McDonald's new iced coffee in 3 delicious flavors.
All right, checking out our Pontiac opinion poll. We asked who will lead the Cubs in wins this season, and boy, what a surprise. People watched him pitch tonight. 45% like Jason Marquis, followed by Hill, Lily, Marshall, and Carlos Zambrano. You asked that question last year. You're not getting Zambrano last.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to go with Carlos Zambrano. I really think after this weekend, hopefully this will be something that will wake him up, make him realize, how important he is to this team. He pitched very well the last 4 months of the season last year, and I really believe that you're going to see a much improved Carlos Zambrano from here on out. That's my call of the day.
I thought it was that the Cubs don't lose until August 6th.
That's my second call of the day. Quit stealing my thunder.
All right, let's check out our pitching matchups for tomorrow's game. Ted Lilly coming off his worst outing of the year. He allowed 6 runs in 7 innings. The Cubs fell 9-0 to the Marlins. But in 11 outings this year, 8 are quality starts. He's 1-0 against the Brewers, having beaten them on May 25th at Wrigley. Then he allowed just 1 in 7 innings. Claudio Vargas, well, that guy is a pitcher that the Brewers like to see. They're 8-2 in games he has started.
One of the things you have to feel good about it, you just hope that the starting pitching, which has been the strength of this Cub team up till this point, you hope that it stays this way. And I think if they can get Carlos Zambrano ironed out and pitching like the real Carlos Zambrano, I think it's going to really help this team. I think the two areas, the starting pitching needs to stay good, and really more importantly, this bullpen really needs to tighten the screws.
So Ted Lilly, the veteran, will put the screws to Milwaukee. 2-0 with a 4.01 ERA on the road. As you see, he pitches well at Wrigley, pitches well away from Wrigley. So far, he's been a nice find, getting a lot of money, but he's produced for this team.
Really, he and Jason Marquis have been really nice additions. Rich Hill has pitched well. The biggest disappointment up to this point has been Carlos Zambrano. This team has leaned on him. This was a guy coming out of spring training. They were building this pitching staff around. He has not been even remotely closer to pitcher that he was in 2005 or 6. He needs to step it up, be the ace of this staff. These are really two big games for this team. If they could somehow get out of Milwaukee, take these next two, as miserable as things have been coming off this horrific weekend with all the things with Lou Piniella being tossed and the Michael Barrett-Zambrano thing, if they can win these two games, find themselves 4.5 back. They're not out of the woods, but it certainly will make them feel good about themselves.
7-2 the final. He's Dan Plesac. I'm Mitch Robinson. Sports Night is coming up right next with Mark Shanowski and Pat Boyle. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Wake up to rivalry and wake up to McDonald's. Get any 2 biscuit sandwiches for just $3.
Honey, I think he's trying to tell us something.
His first word.
Feldco.
Smart kid.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Honey, I think he's trying to tell us something.
His first word.
Feldco.
Smart kid.
Call 866 for FEL DCO.
Feldco windows are a part of family life. More than 100,000 satisfied customers prefer our top quality, professional installers and great warranty. Call for a free estimate.
Financing available. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Grab the new Sun-Times and get the real Chicago story every day. Subscribe at suntimes.com. Chicago Sun-Times. Let's get into it.
This is the place. Let's go. Open 24 hours. Common sense never sleeps. 2-for-1 hot dogs with all the fixings. Now, that's how you help people live the high life. Hey, how you doing, bud? There you go. This place is a mountain of goodness in a mixed-up world. Thank you very much. Now, come over here. I got something to show you. We got a surprise for you. Switch it on, boys. Certified purveyors of the high life. That's you, buddy.
Certified purveyors of the Miller High Life.
Proof the world hasn't gone completely crazy.
Think you have the perfect name for the Comcast Sportsnet fans' best friend dog? Well, here's your chance to prove it. Log on to ComcastSportsNet.com and submit your idea for the Comcast Sportsnet Name the Mascot contest. The top 3 names will be announced during Comcast Sportsnet's coverage of Round 2 of the Crosstown Showdown beginning June 22nd. You could walk away with a Comcast Sportsnet prize pack. Submit your mascot name today by logging on to ComcastSportsNet.com, our fans' best friend online.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire Company.
Low prices, more choices on the world's best brands like Michelin and B.F. Goodrich.
Wake up!
Wake up to rivalry and wake up to McDonald's new iced coffee in 3 delicious flavors.
I'm Len Casper. You're watching Comcast Sportsnet.
Straight up on Land Rover Sports Night.
I was suspended for 4 games and fined.
Minus their skipper, the Cubs look for a winning streak against the division-leading Brewers.
Diving stop by Ramirez. Throw to first. They got it. What a play.
It seems like there's a little bit of a gray area between the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning for us. So we've got to
plug that up.
With a new look bullpen, could the White Sox get back on track on the south side against the Bronx Bombers?
My focus at this point now is just getting through it, making sure that my body's fresh when it's time for me to play football.
Tank will be ready to play, but how long until the commissioner allows him back on the field? The verdict is in. I don't want it. You can have it. We won't drop the ball on Sports Night right now.
Hi there. Thanks for hanging with Land Rover Sports Night. Mike Sy with Mark Shanowski. I am Pat Boyle. Suspensions dominate the Chicago sports landscape on this night. Even Ozzie chimes in on Lou's reprimand.
I'm sure Ozzie appreciates a good temper tantrum, as we saw Lou can kick dirt with the best of them. But, when it comes to off-the-field behavior, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is trying to send a very strong message. Goodell suspended Bears defensive tackle Tank Johnson for the first 8 games of the upcoming regular season for violating the league's personal conduct policy. But that penalty will be reduced to 6 games if Tank meets several guidelines set down by the commissioner. William Jackson picks up the story from Hallis Hall.
After weeks of waiting, Tank Johnson finally got the word of what his suspension would be after Monday's OTA session. It's 8 games with no pay. So what was his immediate reaction?
We obviously knew that there was a sanction coming, and we prepared ourselves for it, and it's here now, and now I think it's time that we can move forward.
You can see by our attitude, we were just wanting the decision to come so we can deal with it, and that's what we're doing. This is a day that we knew was coming, and it's here, and now we can just get back to football again.
Now, while the suspension is for 8 games, if Tank meets certain conditions, Commissioner Roger Goodell is prepared to reduce the suspension to just 6 games. Those conditions include no further adverse involvement with law enforcement and full compliance with any requirements imposed by a court. Number 2, compliance with all league requirements, including counseling. And number 3, no participation in any practices or other organized team activities during the period of the 8-game suspension. Tank is thankful to be given this chance.
I am looking at like a 6-game suspension because I definitely am very confident that I'm capable of doing everything that he's asked me to do and more. And so I'll be ready to go as soon as they open the gates.
We are looking at it as a 6-game suspension because we know that Tank will do all the things he needs to do.
Right after meeting with NFL Commissioner Goodell, Johnson said he had a lot of respect for what he was trying to accomplish with the league. And now that the suspension has been handed down, Tank says he still feels that way.
I think Commissioner Goodell took everything into consideration, what I had to say. He and Mr. Pash and Mr. Adolfo alike, they all had, they had a meeting. It's taken them this long, so they've had to gather a great number of materials to make this decision. And I feel like that if this is what they feel is the sanction that is correct, then it's in the best interest of the National Football League. And I'm a proud member of the National Football League, and I want to be that for a long time.
Now that we now know what the suspension is, the challenge now is for the Bears to find the best way possible to keep Johnson in good physical shape for his return.
We have some game planning to do on exactly how much he's going to play in the preseason, how we get, him in the best shape that we possibly can before the suspension begins, but we'll deal with that.
Now, during the term of Tank's suspension, he may be at the Bears facility for counseling sessions and other approved activities, such as physical treatment or individual workout sessions. Commissioner Goodell says he'll review Johnson's progress no later than October 1st. William Jackson, Comcast Sportsnet.
Thanks, Billy Jack. So it's up to free agent addition Anthony Adams and young guys like Dusty Dvorak and Antonio Garay to try to fill in for Tank during the first 6 games. They're playing some good teams during that time. Tough challenges, including road games against San Diego to open the season and at Green Bay on October 7th.
In the land where Bud makes baseball's big punishment decisions, Lou Piniella found out the repercussions for his dirt dance today. After 2 phone conversations with John McHale and Bob Watson, Lou was suspended for 4 games. He's not going to appeal it. Luke Stuckmeyer has the fallout from Milwaukee.
Talk so much about how the
Lou Piniella will be allowed to fill up the lineup card in Milwaukee, but that's about it. He'll watch the series from a suite at Miller Park. On Monday, he spoke his piece with Major League Baseball, then accepted his punishment.
I had conversations with people from the commissioner's office, and I was suspended for 4 games and fined, and I adhered to it, and it's done. My days are for some contact and for exciting the crowd. And you know, that's hard to do, not to do, I guess, in Chicago. And the big thing, I apologize to the umpire. These things won't happen again.
Lou felt strongly that he did not, kick him, and felt bad that the call was made properly. And I think, over time, Lou's tirades on the ejections have been obviously shown and overshown. But for the most part, he, for as many years as he's managed, there hasn't been that many ejections. And he's always given the umpires a lot of credit and respect.
Crew Chief Bruce Fremming argued that Piniella actually kicked the third base umpire on Saturday. Cubs players saw it differently. They see it as their manager simply sticking up for them.
I appreciated him sticking up for the team, sticking up for the play, and in that situation right there, that was a big play. And from our angle, it looked like he was safe.
Well, it's nice when your manager backs you. He went out there, he felt Pagan was safe, and he backed his player. Pagan was arguing a little bit, so he went out there and backed his players, and that's what you like to see from a manager.
He was fed up, and I don't think that play was the reason he got ejected. We'll miss him for 4 games, but Trammell's capable of handling himself there.
As for the tirade, Piniella says it won't happen again. We know one thing for sure. He won't get another chance until Thursday in Atlanta with the Cubs. With the team in Milwaukee, Luke Stuckmeyer, Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, Luke, thanks. Not far from where Luke watches the game. Lou watched for the press box, while Alan Trammell looked to make it 2 straight wins as interim skipper. Bottom first, 2 on for Ramos Ramirez. Takes one to the left field corner for extra bases. Alfonso Soriano scores. It's 1-0 Cubs. Bottom half of the inning, Jason Marquis is in trouble. Bases loaded, 1 out. Here's Johnny Estrada. He grounds for the 6-4-3 double play to get out of the inning. Pushed up. Bottom second, Marquis still struggling with the bags packed again. He gets Dave Bush to ground back to the mound. Throws home, and then on to first with a rare 1-2-3 DP. And Marquis gets some help behind him. Ramirez, the diving stab, and throws to first to nab Corey Hart. Take another look.
That's big league.
That is big time. A-Ram coming through and then nabbing the guy who's not wearing his sunglasses at night. Bottom third, Prince Fielder is looking more like his daddy every day. His NL-leading 20th home run, and this game is tied. Next batter, Estrada. I won't do it again. Routine infield pop-up. This is anything but routine, though, Mark. Mark calls for it, and then he lets it drop. Error on Marquis. Ramirez at least should have had it, and Barrett should have been directing. But the Brewers didn't capitalize. Jock Jones does here until Jeff Jenkins makes a leaping grab in front of the signage to rob him of extra bases. Bottom 4, 1 out for Craig Counsell. Ground ball to third should be a DP. Ramirez throws to second, but DeRosa drops it. Error on DeRosa. Everybody's safe. After a sac bunt by Bush, Corey Hart hits one in the hole. Cesar's Torres gets it. Not in time. Run scores. Brew Crew take a 2-1 lead. Top of 7. Runners on the corners as Torres in an 0-for-11 slump. But that is a slump buster. To right center. Barrett scores to tie it up at 2. That brings up pinch hitter Cliff Floyd. Slow roller. Hey, they all count. DeRosa scores to make it a 3-2 lead. And that brings up Alfonso.
Night already for Soriano. Deep to left field for Soriano. 3-run shot.
Len Casper with the call right here at Comcast Sports. That's Soriano, a huge night, 5 for 5, 2 runs scored, 3 RBI, third homer as many days. Lou's like, this is so bad being suspended. I can hang up here, get popcorn and all the beverages you want. I don't have to put on the silly uniform. 7-2 is your final. Soriano's third 5-hit game in his career, first since he was a member of the Yankees back in 2002. Marmol gets his first win. Cubs now 2-0 under interim skipper Alan Trammell. What's the over-under on one of those ladle-stirring members of the Chicago media to write that the Cubs respond better to Trammell than Piniella?
Tomorrow, maybe the day after?
Wednesday. I'm going to set Wednesday as the bar, all right? We'll see what happens. Coming up later on the show, we'll have much more on the Cubs' win over the division leaders. Luke Stuckmeyer will have reaction from the Cubs clubhouse at Miller Park. Plus, Michael Barrett fills us in on his conversation with Carlos Zambrana. Did they have it over breakfast at Michael's favorite Cracker Barrel in Milwaukee?
Plenty of them up there.
Find out later in Sports Night. Maybe this fueled Alfonso Soriano, as we heard Mitch Robinson allude to on Cubs Postgame Live. Latest round of All-Star balloting was released today. Soriano slipped to 4th. Reds outfielder Ken Griffey Jr. passed both Soriano and Barry Bonds in outfield balloting. Derek Lee ranks 4th among first basemen. Aramis is 4th at the third base spot. Fans can vote for the starters at MLB.com until June 28th.
And now to the White Sox. Ozzie Guillen's been talking about a bullpen shakeup for a couple of weeks now. It finally happened today. Disappointing middle relievers Mike McDougall and David Aardsma were sent down to the minors. They're replaced by a couple of guys who have pitched in the big leagues before. 29-year-old right-handers Brett Prinz and Ryan Buckfitch joined the Sox bullpen. Now, both players grew up in the Chicago suburbs, and both are having good seasons for AAA Charlotte. Prinz saved 9 games as a rookie for the 0-1 Diamondbacks before running into arm problems that kind of derailed his career. GM Kenny Williams says he's just going to keep on trying to find a solution for the Sox bullpen woes.
At the current time, there are no better players or pitchers available than the ones we have either on our team or on the roster, whether it be at AAA or AA. So that's where you are. You first have to see what you can do internally. And how that works out, and then the next step after that, if that does not work out, then you start exploring other avenues.
It's not easy for me to blame one spot or make people think we only got one weak thing. No, it's a group with no hitting, and our bullpen could hold the lead. And all of a sudden, it seems like bullpen blow another lead because, finally we scored a couple runs. Just hold them. We couldn't.
So let's see what happened on the field tonight. Yankees in town for a 4-game series. John Garland trying to get the home team back on track after that 1-6 road trip. Top of the first, Derek Jeter lines to in a second. Tadahito Iguchi scoops it up, but no, he doesn't really. Loses it. That's an error on Gooch, and Jeter's aboard. Bobby Abreu up next. Works the count full, and then good placement on this one. Finds the gap in left center. Jeter will motor around to score on the play, so it's 1-0 Yankees. Fans at the cell a little bit nervous. Roger Clemens scratched from this one because of a sore groin, so it's Matt DeSalvo on the hill. Second inning, Patton. I don't think the heavy stuff's going to come down for quite a while. Raining pretty hard at the cell for a while, but didn't bother Paulie on that one. Base hits. He's batting number 6 in the order in this game. Later on, bags full for your number 9 hitter, Joe Creedy. Grounds one to A-Rod, steps on third, but an errant throw to first. No double play to end the inning. Konerko scores. We're all tied up at 1. Moments later, the leadoff man, Jerry Owens, ground ball to first. Josh Phelps, not so good. Throw into left field. Uribe scores. It's 2-1. The Yankees is falling apart. Now it's Gooch's turn. Back through the middle, and they're not going to have a play on Creedy. He scores, so tough luck for Matt DeSalvo. 3-1 White Sox kid. Take it to the showers. The Yankees' shaky defense knocks him out. 14 was Lou Piniella's old number when he played for the Yankees. Bottom of the fourth, Ron Vallone pitching. Doesn't matter. Jim Thome gets all of that one. Big fly to center and gone. So let's see what the tally board has for Jim Thome. Yep, that's 480 on the career. 8th of the season, 5-1 good guys. Garland getting some defensive help. Jorge Posada's liner caught by Iguchi. And A-Rod doubled off second and the 6th. Could be in the tabloids tomorrow. Bottom of the 7th, Konerko must like hitting in that number 6 hole. He drives one to left field, and that's going to make the seats. A solo shot for Paulie, his 3rd hit of the night, 8th home run of the year. 6-1 White Sox. Could they hang on? John Garland pitched it in the 9th, but Ozzie decided to pull him after a Hideki Matsui double. So he brings in the left-hander, Matt Thornton. Not so good. Promptly gives up a single to Phelps. Matsui will score, so it's 6-2 White Sox. Ozzie doesn't want to go down the same bad road again, so he goes for bad Bobby Jenks. It's now 6-3. Johnny Damon, the slow roller to Gooch. Can he get the play? No. Bad throw. Miguel Cairo comes in to score 6-4, and now the fans are really nervous. Jeter at the plate. He is the potential tying run, but you can exhale, Sox fans. Jenks gets him to ground out. That's going to end it. Sox hold on to win it 6-4. Run support, not a big issue for the White Sox tonight. They kept adding on to that lead against the Yankees, including a homer for Konerko, who went 3 for 4. Garland threw 119 pitches over 8 1/3 to pick up his 4th win. Bobby Jenks earns his 16th save. Chuck Garfien has our postgame report.
Yes, it was a win, but for the White Sox, nothing comes easy.
6-1, 1 out, 1 guy on base, and I had to be in the closet.